All right, this is Outside the Ring. Your host, John Callahan.
And Frank Wrestling.
And we'll be going over Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night Smackdown. And then for a bonus, we're going to throw in some predictions for Payback this Sunday, which we will also provide coverage for. Go ahead, start off for me.
Let's start with the Payback predictions.
All right.
Can't speak. So on the pre-show we have Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Who you got in this match?
I would hope Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, truthfully. I think they might give it to Big Cass and Enzo just to kind of keep that push that they're giving them. But seeing as how the push really isn't coming, it seems like they're just doing things to appease them.
I don't know who I have in this match, to be honest. I kind of don't care. But, at the end of the day, I kind of wish that Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows would be kept strong.
Yeah.
I was going to say before what happened on Monday when we get to the Raw review for a possible club reunion, Balor Club, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't actually know what the goal is here. I know they're in love with Big Cass because of his size, so I may go with Enzo and Cass because of that, but I say that with no confidence. So
yeah, I mean, either way, it's kind of like no one really cares at this moment, or at least it's not really important.
And they've done that to themselves.
Yeah,
so,
they really have.
I don't know. I wish I cared more about this match, but I don't. It's what happens when you beat people over and over again. And I don't know. I was listening to another podcast and they were saying something about they didn't feel like Enzo Amore and Big Cass were clicking to the level that they thought they would so far. I mean, they still get massive pops because of their charisma, but I don't know that they've lost that specialness.
I think a lot of that dropped when Enzo's shit talking came at the expense of others, as in like Sheamus and Cesaro, when he was sitting there talking shit about how he beat Cesaro or whatever and then got bro kicked in the mouth and the whole crowd was like, yeah! I mean,
I think it had already been going on at that point. I don't know. Like, I know the whole thing with Enzo being booked basically to go sleep with Lana, but he was the babyface, and Rusev was the heel, but playing it was just confusing.
Well, and this is the path they took with it. He's a G.
You can't do that. You can't book your babyface like that.
No, you can't. But they thought they would try to get because he claims it. He is a G, and so G's get the girls. And when your girl ain't happy with you and she cute and she's trying to look for somebody to, then you go for the G. But so they tried to put a spin on it, and it really didn't work. It failed. It did. It failed miserably. It was stupid, anyways.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't really have much of an opinion about the match, I guess, and I don't think they do either because it's why it's on the pre-show supposedly. Anyway, supposedly kicking off the pay-per-view, we got Neville and Austin Aries. How do you feel about this?
Real quick though, did they not have Finn Balor going to be on the pre-show?
In a match?
I don't know if it was a match.
I think he might be in some kind of speaking role.
Okay. I don't
think he's gonna.
I was seeing something somewhere where they were saying they put Finn Balor in the pre-show instead of in the actual show, and that's not really strong for Finn because you're in the pre-show.
Against who?
No, not against anybody. I just heard that's where he was going to be, was in the kickoff. He's not going to be in the main show.
Oh yeah, well. I don't know. Like I said, maybe in a speaking role. I would think maybe they're worried about the concussion or something. Also, who has he been feuding with? He's just been getting random singles matches, and then he was in that tag match this past week. So he's not really in a feud with anyone. So
yeah,
who would you throw him in a match with?
I would put him in a match with somebody somewhat important. At least you're going tag team matches with Seth. Well, Seth and Samoa got their match, so no, you can't really do that. Yeah.
Sometimes people just get left off. Look at Samoa Joe at Mania.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he didn't even show up at Mania.
Nope.
Damn. Anyways, next match.
Neville and Austin Aries.
Who you going with?
I honestly thought that they were going to put the belt on Austin Aries at Mania. The fact that they didn't kind of makes me think that they're going to put it on him here. Simply because if he doesn't win the belt, then why are they still fighting? Because Neville beat him clean at Mania.
Yeah.
So if he beats him again here, why are they? What is the point of them even having Austin Aries in this feud anymore?
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm going Austin Aries.
WWE, it's the same shit with Bray and Randy, but we'll get into that later. I personally would hope Neville wins because I think Neville's just money right now. Truthfully, his gimmick isn't old. His gimmick can go from person to person because what his gimmick is I'm better than you. If you got a problem with it, prove it. And that gimmick works anywhere. As long as you've got the mean face to go with it and the voice, and he's just pulling it all off A1 right now. And he's looking good. Looking great. Clean cut, just ripped little... I mean, God dang.
I agree. But at the same time, I feel like he's the only one that anyone actually... When I say he, I mean Austin Aries. He's the only one that a lot of people give a shit about. He's the only one that anybody gets any kind of reaction for when they come out. No one cares about anybody else, really. Even Neville. Neville's doing great work, but I mean, I heard it on Monday. There was no really reaction for him.
No.
I could see them, like I said, if Austin Aries gets beat again, then I completely lose interest in this feud if they plan on keeping it going because, again, where is your reason for having the feud go on anymore? So, yeah. I mean, in order to tell a proper story, which is amazing because that's never the case with them, I think Austin Aries has to win here, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, as far as following a storyline, I would say Austin Aries should win, but personal, I like Neville.
I do too.
And I mean, yeah, Monday night he might have been quiet, but he gets a lot of jeers and stuff whenever he comes out.
I don't. And I'm not to say that it's just him. It's nobody in that division.
Yeah, but I mean, you get the leftover from Smackdown.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's the leftover crowd.
Oh, well, yeah. No, I'm talking about on Raw. This was on Raw. I'm talking about what you
okay.
See. Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking 205 Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Bringing the cruiserweight.
I mean, we could talk for days about how they've mismanaged the whole cruiserweight division in general. Yeah. Because they were supposed to be different, and they've done everything the same. And when you do everything the same, no one gives a shit because it's just like everything else.
But yeah, let's move on to the next match. We can't have this one being a 4-hour freaking podcast.
Oh, it's going to end up being that way. It's probably going to be at least 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, next we got Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro. I think Hardy Boys retain here. I think Hardy Boys don't lose the titles until WWE gets the right to the broken stuff. And then when they finally lose the titles...
That's when they become broken.
Exactly. Yep. That's what I think.
That would be the best story.
I don't even think it's they. I think they will split the Hardys up and have them doing their own thing. I think Matt will become broken at that point. But that's just my prediction. So yeah, I have Hardy Boys retaining here. Again, another feud I don't really care about because of the way they kind of booked it on TV where everyone's all sucking each other's balls. Yeah. About how much friends they are and handshakes, and I'm waiting on a bro kick to kick one of the Hardys in the face.
And it never comes.
Right.
It never comes. It even looks like he was like preparing for it on 3 different occasions. But we'll talk about that match.
The crowd was wanting it too.
Oh, yeah.
So, who you got?
Hardys.
Hardys?
Yep. You know I like the Hardys, and I mean, it's just dumb to have them lose to Cesaro and Sheamus.
Right now. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Next we have Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe.
I have a feeling they're going to have Seth Rollins win, but the only other way I could see this playing out for them would be Samoa Joe winning, or either winning by a distraction from somebody else, a new member or whatever, seeing as how Kevin Owens is gone, if they're still going to try to run with this whole evolution shtick thing, new evolution or whatnot, or Joe loses by DQ.
I think Seth will win. I think Joe should win. I think Joe needs to win more. I don't think that... I think Joe's still in the process of being established. And in order to establish him at a certain level, I think it would be a good idea for him to beat Rollins. But I don't know that they'll do that. And I think that it could have bad effect for Joe long term. But I would be shocked if Joe walked out of this. And I'm not talking about even if it's a slight fuck finish, like if it's, say Triple H's music hits in the match and then, Seth turns around slightly long enough to get caught in a coquina clutch. To me, that's like the ideal outcome of this match. What I don't want is Joe losing straight up.
Yeah.
Or, Joe getting, like you said, some kind of DQ fuck, because that just makes him look weak. I still want Joe. You could keep both. Here's the thing. I think Seth doesn't need the win near as much as Joe does. And I think you could keep Seth looking strong even if Joe were to win with the coquina clutch after a distraction from, say, Triple H.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I could also see it where Joe just beats the ever-living crap out of Seth.
I don't think they'll do that.
I don't think so either.
They love Seth way too much for that.
You call the man the Destroyer. Make him a Destroyer.
He should be.
Don't call him a Destroyer and then just bring him out to lose in tag team matches and then lose to Seth Rollins. And he just looks like Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury just put together.
Right.
I mean, they fused and became Samoa Joe.
You'll really see. I think this will be very telling as far as how they look at Joe. What happens in this match? If you see Joe win like I said to win earlier, then you know that they really like Joe. If you see some other weirdo finish where they think that they're making Joe look strong, but they're actually not, then you'll see they like Joe, but they don't love Joe. At least not like they love Seth, which is what I kind of think is going to happen. I think something screwy is going to happen, and they're going to think that they're making Joe look strong, and they're actually making him look weak.
Yeah.
But
he'll come out next week, part of the Spirit Squad.
Right. I hope that doesn't happen.
Ready, Joe!
I don't need to see Joe jumping around like Kenny Dykstra.
One of them like little one-piece leotard things.
Oh, God.
Halfway up his ass crack. Next match.
We got the best friends going at it. Woo! Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho for the United States Championship.
KO wins.
As he should. KO wins. Chris Jericho goes and tours with Fozzy.
Yep.
Chris Jericho has been drafted to Fozzy. That's what I think is.
We appreciate it, Chris. You had a pretty good little run there. I mean, you brought us the list of Jericho. I'm drinking it in, man.
I don't think that there's a reason for this to go on. I would have liked to see this end at WrestleMania, and you have the shake up and Owens go, to SmackDown and start anew, and Jericho go to Fozzy. I understand why they. I mean, I guess they felt like there was more money in another match, although I tend to disagree.
Maybe they were like, well, we have to have him end with his rematch.
No, not really. I mean, everybody knew what it was, and I think it, for storytelling purposes, for people kind of in the know, and I don't mean like smart marks. I mean like anyone that's watched wrestling for more than 1 second.
Yeah. You
realize Owens winning this match, and it's a lot like the main event on this show. Who's going to win, and it's really not really a reason to have the match.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt all the way.
We'll get there. But yeah, Owens all the way. 0% chance Jericho wins this match.
0. I mean, they might give him like a good little fuck finish or something like that, just to make it look like he's not weak, because they're sending him off. Maybe.
I think Owens goes over clean. I mean, look at.
It would be nice. I would
look at the Jericho match. Or the Jericho Samoa Joe match, excuse me, from the other week. Joe went over clean in that, so.
Which still, Chris, you were in that coquina way too long.
But Joe went over clean, which
he
is
did.
The main thing I like. Next match we got is Bayley and Alexa Bliss for the Women's Championship.
I don't know. I'm thinking Bayley's going to retain. I know you want Alexa to win.
I do.
And based off of Monday night, truthfully, it would be nice. She is a good heel.
She put them to shame.
She did a hell of a job.
We'll get to that, but she put them to shame.
And I mean, if she wins, I'll be shocked because they love Bayley.
Bayley wins this match, and I say that loving Alexa Bliss as much as I do. Bayley has to win this match, and the reason she has to win this match is because she's literally the only babyface. Because I do believe Sasha will be turning heel very soon.
Yeah.
So I think Bayley has to win this match.
Yep.
I don't want to see Alexa lose her first title match, but the fact that they put her in this match might mean that they see her at a certain level.
I would hope so.
And I actually think that her ability to speak on the microphone might actually get her... Like, here's the thing. I don't think when Alexa Bliss went to Smackdown last summer, I don't think that the plan was to make Alexa Bliss into this star. I think Alexa Bliss was going to be a run-of-the-mill chick on their roster until they gave her a little bit of time to talk, and they were like, hey, this chick can talk.
Yeah.
So Alexa kind of made her own opportunities. I think she'll do more of that, especially if they keep giving her the microphone here, and maybe whatever plans that they have for the future, they'll factor Alexa in more if she continues to do what she did Monday, which was shit all over everybody in the ring.
Oh yeah,
I think she looked awesome on Monday.
She is good about it. She's very good about it. And she's smooth about it.
Yes,
that was my biggest problem with Charlotte. Yeah, she was as far as the athlete goes, A+.
Mm-hmm.
But her mic skills, to me, it was robotic. It was like, ha ha, ha 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 ha, Sasha. Yeah, you would say that, Sasha. And it's like, there's no flow. You have no tempo. You're not actually keeping a steady pace. You're throwing words in when they actually pop up and you can speak them.
I do agree. I mean, obviously Alexa's the best on the microphone of the women. But I mean, I guess you average everything out that everybody brings to the table.
Yeah.
It's still Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
Head and shoulders over everyone. I think that's what, and I understand exactly what WWE sees in Charlotte. At the same time, I think Alexa Bliss is right there with her with everything averaged out. Now, Alexa is obviously not Charlotte in the ring.
No.
And almost nobody is, but I think Alexa is as good on the mic, if not better, than Charlotte is in the ring. Put it that way.
Yeah. Yes. I will wholeheartedly agree with that. So, she topples Charlotte as far as speaking goes. On the mic, any segment, in any fashion. Sasha Banks gets on my nerves with her speaking. Yeah. And especially, I'm sorry, but that raised fucking... We'll get to that later. Damn it, I want to go on a tangent. What's the next damn match?
So we got Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in a singles match.
I hope Braun wins. I want Braun to win.
0% chance Braun wins this match.
I know. But I want him to win.
I want him to win too, but what I was going to say about the last match in the women's division in general, it's a lot more Wild West. You just, throw a card out and flip it over and, this person's going to be pushed now. You know what they want to do in this match.
Yeah.
They want Roman to come in as the recovering babyface and overcome all the odds.
Oh, he's got a partially dislocated shoulder, 14 broken ribs.
Expect to see 6 to 8 Superman punches in this match.
Yep. And a Samoan drop. There will be 2 attempts that fail. The 3rd attempt will succeed because he is Super Reigns.
And you can't. I was listening to Wrestling Soup on the way over, and they were talking about one of the problems that they had is that I don't know if it was on Raw or it may have been on Raw this week, where Braun came out and basically shot on the fans because you knew it was a directive from up top that this guy's getting a little too popular. We have to.
Yeah, we have
to define him as a heel again.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, though, people like heels whenever you force these baby faces down their throat.
Well, here's the thing. Did you hear about his shirt, by the way, Braun's?
No.
It sold out in a few hours.
Holy shit.
Yes. And it's on back order until sometime in the middle of May.
Golly, Braun.
So people dig Braun. So yeah, they weren't too happy about it because again they can't. Nothing can be organic with WWE these days.
No. It's all manufactured.
Just is what it is, and that includes that. And I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. It's professional wrestling. We know it's all. We know the deal, but you can't. We like to get lost inside of WWE, and they don't let you a lot of times with their storytelling.
Well, I mean, it's like whenever you're sitting there watching Law and Order or The Flash or any other TV show, you get into the TV. Right. You get into the episode. You're like, oh, this is great. Yeah, I know there's not a guy with super speed, or I know Ice Cube really isn't a cop.
Right. Or teacher, which...
Or is it Ice Cube or Ice T?
It's Ice-T in that show.
Ice-T, my bad.
You said Ice Cube, and I thought of the Goofy movie where he's supposed to be a teacher. What fucking school would hire Ice Cube as a
right?
teacher?
But I mean, but it's the same thing. We want to watch it and get pulled into it. Not have this obvious direction you just want to push things because you have your own agenda. Make it entertaining. You're losing the entertaining part of WWE.
Right.
You changed it from WWF for entertainment to be put in there, but you drain the entertainment.
Write the shows for your fans instead of in spite of your fans.
Exactly.
I think they do so much of that these days, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, like I said, Braun wins. This will probably be a piss break because you know it's going to happen.
Wait a second. Braun
loses, excuse me.
I was about to say.
Roman wins. Yeah. It won't, well, I say piss break. It won't be a piss break because the match will probably be 20 to 25 minutes long.
Oh, yeah, and you know Roman's going to get fucked up for most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's going to be like, where does he pull this strength from? Oh, my God. And then he's going to Superman punch him like bouncing off of all four sides of the ropes. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to because Braun's a big guy. He might even go up to the top
you got to
rope.
get the obligatory run up the stairs and Superman punch him off the stairs.
Oh, yeah. Or I'm going to run in and clothesline you and then look at you because you didn't go down. So I'm going to try doing it again off of a different rope this time. It's not going to work. Probably slap him about 4 or 5 times, I'm thinking. That big old, like he's grabbing poop from the ground, bring up, slap you in the face with it.
Oh, yeah. Roman wins. Vince's boner gets bigger. The crowd hates him more. We've seen this story before. Next match we got is Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt in the House of Horrors match.
Bray Wyatt for the win!
I hope that they make Bray win simply because this is now not a WWE title match. So... No. Why would you have Randy win this match?
Wait, it's not a WWE title match? Not. They changed that?
They changed it. My understanding is that they changed it and it's not a WWE title match. Which, let's keep it real here, it needed to be changed.
It did, but damn, now I'm hoping Bray Wyatt does win. I'm hoping like I wasn't just blowing smoke up your ass.
Well, Bray needs to win this because it's now, I mean, we both knew if it was for the title, he was 100% not winning this match.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully somebody realized that and said, well, let's take the title off the line because everybody knows we're going to keep the title on SmackDown. And maybe that'll throw some, doubt in that maybe Randy won't walk away with this. That being said, now that there's no title on the line, Bray has to win this match.
Yeah.
And if he does not win this match...
Well, that could also be Vince's doing because you just put Bray on Monday Night Raw.
Right.
That's Vince's baby. Even though SmackDown, whenever it's been head-to-head, most of the time, SmackDown wins.
Of course it does.
It won in the Attitude Era.
Although, and we'll get to this in a minute, but both Raw and SmackDown were garbage this week.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, so I mean, I hope they do put Bray over. I want this.
Bray needs to be put over. And again, there's no logical reason to not put him over.
But what the fuck is a House of Horrors match?
I don't know. I think, and Wrestling Soup said this when I was on the way over. I kind of agree with him. I was thinking this even before they said it. I don't think the match will happen in the arena. I think you'll get something similar to
what Kofi, what New Day and them did.
Yeah, which was a takeoff of the Final Deletion shit. So
yeah,
I think that's what you're going to end up getting.
I gotcha.
But we'll see. But yeah, I was thinking that as soon as it was announced, because they did a poll on WWE.com, I believe it was, where they were asking what you would want the House of Horrors match to be. Meaning, what that told me was They had no idea what they wanted it to
Nope.
be. They were just fucking taking, we don't know what to do here, so you tell us. What would you like to see?
They're like, we need to have a special match. Well, what could we name it? Well, Randy Orton just burned down that house. Yep. Yeah. And Bray Wyatt's he's kind of a horrible person. He wants to be scary and everything. Hey, let's make it a House of Horrors match. And we could, like, bring his old house, like, it was burnt and everything, and we just all put it together. Like, one of them fucking Johnsonville commercials. Where, yeah, they might do it all themselves, but it's not the best fucking commercial out there. Because it's kind of just lame.
Alright, so with that being said, we have Monday Night Raw.
Woo! Are you ready for some wrestling?
Alright, the first thing I see on my TV for Raw is that we will have a dumpster match with Kalisto and Braun Strowman later.
Best match ever.
Anyway, the highlight reel. So we got Chris Jericho out, and he says it is the last night that the highlight reel will be on Raw because he's going to SmackDown after he beats Kevin Owens for the U.S. title, which gets boos. He continues cutting a promo on Owens, and then we get The Miz.
Awesome.
The Miz interrupts, and he says, excuse me, that Raw is no longer Jericho and hasn't been since he got to Raw. The crowd chants that Miz sucks, which is a change from actually a few weeks ago when they were cheering him like a babyface.
Yeah. Which is good. He doesn't need to be a babyface.
Yeah, Miz says he can't suck because he's not from Kansas City, which I actually laughed at.
Yes, I did too. He did a good job there. I was like, good job, sir.
He announces Miz TV will now be replacing the highlight reel, and we get a crew of cronies, and they come out and they change the set to the Miz TV set, and as soon as that happens, we get good old Dean Ambrose.
Well, wait a second. You missed out one of the best parts right there. Whenever he's like, raise the TV, and Jericho's like, hey, that's the Jeritron 6000, right. And he's like, it's a TV. It's the Jeritron 6000. It's a TV, Chris. I was like, yes. I mean, just that little back and forth with Miz. Miz did a great job with. I enjoyed it.
Miz has got good at thinking on his feet.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, those the Miz TV, the SmackDown segments with him and Daniel Bryan. Did you hear about in the interview where he did a few weeks ago, where he said that none of that stuff was actually written for him?
Well, I'm happy.
And he said that the big pop, when him and Daniel got into it last year, whenever that was, he said he was actually saying those things to him, and that was actually Daniel's response was to walk off set. So I was like, I don't know, man. There might be real heat there. I don't know how that goes.
That's fine. I mean, but truthfully, in the end, Daniel, just buck up and shake the dude's hand because he got big pop.
Well, I was listening to Solid Monster Sounds Off, and he'd heard the rumor that the actual, because you noticed that storyline never really ended.
Yes.
The culmination originally, before Vince changed his mind and made because when you heard the rumor about The Undertaker and Cena for WrestleMania this year.
Yes.
That's what it was supposed to be. Well, when Vince got the boner for Undertaker and Roman, that there was a trickle-down effect. And the original plan was to culminate that Daniel Bryan storyline was to have Shinsuke Nakamura come out and kind of take Bryan's place since he can't wrestle at WrestleMania and have him challenge The Miz for the Intercontinental title. That was what the original plan was. But because everything got changed when Vince went from Cena and Undertaker to Reigns and Undertaker, the trickle-down effect made, Shinsuke just get held off to the next night. Or the 2 nights after for the SmackDown that he did.
Well, damn Vince and his boners.
But yeah, that would have. I'm guaranteeing they would have put the title on Shinsuke night 1 in the company.
Oh yeah.
And
that would have been great for him.
Yeah. Although we'll get to that segment on.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got a lot to say about all that shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so after that little back and forth between Miz and Jericho, Ambrose music hits, and Ambrose, to his credit, still gets a big pop.
Yeah. He's going to. He was part of the Shield. If anything,
so was Roman.
But here's the thing. Roman's getting the boos because he was pushed over people that didn't need to be pushed.
I'm starting to get that same feeling with Ambrose sometimes, though. But anyway,
Well, Ambrose isn't going like against the big people.
Ambrose is a former WWE champion. How many people deserve that title under their name?
How did he get it?
Because they saw something.
Money in the bank.
They saw something. No, they had to make the choice to give him money in the bank.
I understand they had to make the choice, but that all they were doing for that was money. They want the Shield versus each other. That's what they were going for. So yes, let's put money in the bank on Dean Ambrose so that when Seth and Roman are going at it and Seth wins, Dean Ambrose comes out and beats Seth. And then it's like, ha ha ha, now we have this great triple threat match.
I understand that, but here's my thing. My point is, all the members of DX never held the world title. You know what I'm saying here?
Then that's the problem.
No, my point is that, like, there's a lot of people that should be in Dean's spot that are not in Dean's spot. Yeah. Cesaro should be in Dean's spot.
There should be a lot of people in Roman's spot that's not in Roman's spot.
Here's the thing. I understand that more because Vince has always been this guy. I think more and more when I think about WWE that Vince is not the genius that everyone thinks he is. He was focused on Hogan.
Yep.
He wanted to replace Hogan with some guy who couldn't wrestle. I don't know if you ever heard that story. I can't remember the guy's name. But he wanted to replace Hogan with this guy in like 87. He didn't like that Hogan was bald. And apparently the guy wrestled a match against Bret Hart at a house show. And Vince loved his look. And of course the guy looked like $1 million because he was in there with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And then he fought people the next week who were not named Bret Hart. And the dude fucking sucked. And he sucked bad enough for Vince to go, well, we can't put this dude on top.
Yeah.
He tried to push Lex Luger as a top guy.
Here's the thing.
To replace Hogan.
You know you suck when you can't do 6 basic moves and get more like of respect from Vince McMahon, because all Hulk had was 6 fucking moves. Right. So I mean, if you couldn't be ingenious enough to put a 7th move in there, I mean, come on now.
But Hogan had the charisma. But yeah. I mean, the thing was, he tried to put Lex Luger on top, and that tanked.
Yep.
He's always gone with let's build around one person.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole Roman thing doesn't surprise me. But what surprises me is why you won't give guys like Cesaro a shot. Because Cesaro and guys like Cesaro, the Cesaros of the world, could do so much, even if they're not a... Dean will probably win the title over his career probably 4 to 5 times.
Yeah.
You telling me Cesaro, who may not... And here's the thing, I don't even think Dean has that much charisma.
No, it's gone.
So
what he had when he was in the Shield is not what he is right now.
And that's part of why he gets called lazy.
And that's the thing. It's the truth.
That's apparently what people backstage actually think of him.
Yeah.
There's a reason that keeps coming up on TV.
Oh yeah.
People think that of him. But so my point is, like, Dean's actually elevated to a position that I don't really think that he belongs in right now. Now, he gets a lot of fanfare, and so you can't teach being over. You just either are over or you're not.
Yep.
So I mean, props to that. But yeah, I'm not, like I said, this is not me being an Ambrose hater. I think that there could be other people in the spot that he's in.
Definitely. There definitely could. You need to put him in the backlight and be like, look, you need to try.
Well, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy now because he makes like the 3rd or 4th amount of money in the company. Like, he makes almost $3 million a year.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They released that, Brock, of course, is on top. I think Brock makes like 12.
Yeah.
Cena made like 6 last year. And then below that, you start getting into like the 3s and the 2s, and you start getting into like, and you start to notice that even though Dean might be cold as fucking ice on screen, you have to get your money's worth with somebody like Dean. So if you pay him $3 million a year,
oh yeah,
even if no one fucking is responding to anything he's doing, they're going to keep pushing him.
Yeah.
So. It just is what it is. That being said, I was actually relatively entertained by Dean in this segment.
Yeah, he was all right. Let me see. What did I have? Oh yeah, he botched up a little bit, but Chris helped him recover. Whenever he told Miz whenever he said, "You know what, Chris, you were right about one thing. Miz is a stupid idiot." And Chris is like, see, he can tell what I'm thinking because I never said it, but he can tell what I'm thinking. And it was like...
And that's Jericho being Jericho. That's Jericho being awesome.
It is. And he did a good recovery there for Dean because truthfully, I myself, as soon as he said it, I was like, but Chris never called him a stupid idiot so far. Like,
that too.
I mean, come on now. And then Chris was like, and I could see it. I could see it in Chris's eyes. He had the same thought I did. He was like, but I haven't said that. And he was like, but I can't let the whole crowd know because this guy's supposed to be getting over.
Right.
So let me go ahead and help him get over because I'm about to go on tour anyways.
But
so kudos to Chris.
Yeah. Chris is awesome. Like, what can you say about Chris Jericho?
Yeah, but truthfully, the rest of it I was kind of bored with.
I actually did like the whole jacket presentation.
Okay.
That was funny to me.
Okay, yes. The jacket...
Because the jacket looked comically bad.
It did. And that was the only... Other than Chris saving Dean, that was the only good part of the Ambrose Asylum that I actually enjoyed.
Right.
Everything... Like, his speaking, I did not care for. And
if you notice...
Dean's? Yeah, Dean's. If you notice, the unveiling of the jacket was due to Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Dean didn't really say much about it besides, yeah, he replaces it.
Yeah.
See? I did that myself. Okay, that's not interesting to me. But Chris is like, well, the last time I opened a gift, kind of got my ass handed to me.
Right.
So, I mean, so he made it comical and he made it interesting, and that's why I did like the jacket. And I like how he continued with the jacket later on in the night.
You know what? You're turning me on this because I was actually going to give credit to Ambrose for that, but you're right. It was a lot of Jericho making that segment.
It really was, and I almost fell into that trap. Where I was like, oh, this is a great segment. Dean's doing good. But then I re-looked at it and I was like, but everything Dean said, I hated. But everything Chris Jericho said to help him recover was A+. So I gave the Ambrose Asylum a C because of Chris Jericho, pretty much.
Okay, so after this, Miz ranted about something or other. He wasn't making a lot of sense. He said Ambrose devalues the IC title every second he has it, and then from there he started not making any sense at all.
Well, he also called the jacket hideous. He was talking shit to Chris as well. He was like, you think this is great? This jacket is hideous. It looks horrible. It looks like some third grader made it or something. And they were just trying to get him to...
Yeah. He was doing a lot of screaming and not a lot of...
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, Miz came out strong, ended a little bit weak to me. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. When I was watching it, his words were at least a little bit more of where I'm like, yeah, that's right, Miz. But they weren't enough to stick, or they weren't even really... Let's see. Oh, yeah. No, he just continues to tell Dean he's lazy. That's all I wrote down. So it wasn't interesting enough for me to actually want to remember all of what he said. It was probably a lot of filler. But yeah, he gets dirty deeds anyways.
Dirty deeds, and then while Miz is down, Maurice is checking on him, Jericho asks, do you know what happens when you're married to the Miz? Do you know what happens when your husband is a stupid idiot? Maurice, you just made the list, and I actually, like I said, that's more Jericho making the segment.
Exactly,
so
Jericho made that segment.
I gotta reevaluate that.
Exactly, that was Chris. That's what I'm saying. You know what? I mean, have fun with Fozzy and everything, but you've had a great run while you've been here. It was awesome,
and you will be missed.
You will be. You will be. Funny as hell.
All right, so up first for matches, anyway, we got Matt Hardy versus Sheamus.
Yep.
I put good back and forth at the beginning. The side effect that Matt hit somewhere in there looked like it sucked.
Oh, yeah, on the apron?
Yeah, that looked awful.
Yeah.
God, did that look
He looked a little stiff-legged to me at first.
Yeah.
It was good back and forth, but like his getting up and everything. And as I watched it throughout the match, I realized that that's just how he's always gotten up off the mat, is very straight-legged, very stiff-legged.
His legs are goofy. He said, I was watching... Do you remember when they, back in the day, it's probably like 2000, where they were on Fear Factor? Mm-hmm. Jeff said something where Matt has a birth defect in both legs where he can't bend his legs straight like a normal person. So they bend off to the side.
Huh.
So, yeah, it's weird. I've always noticed that about Matt.
Oh, and I noticed it too, but it's kind of nice to actually know why that happens. Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, on top of that, he's like a 40,
Yeah.
43-year-old dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but yeah, I actually wrote side effect to the apron. Matt's side effect to the apron was vicious.
Yeah.
Like, I could see them trying to make sure that they actually got it correct, because it looked like they were like, okay, so I hit you with the right, and you're going to catch me that way because of how he threw Matt kind of over. I guess they got confused on the directionism, but they quickly like looked at each other and figured it out. And I mean, he hit that and it looked good.
Lots of delete chants for
Yes.
Matt in this match, more than usual actually.
Yes.
And he was gesturing quite a bit with it.
Dude, they were doing delete chants in NXT like it was nothing.
Well, yeah, it's like the most over thing from last year.
I know, and it's great. I was watching that like just, sitting here not doing much, so I watched NXT to catch up.
Yeah.
And it was just everywhere. They were, delete, delete. Big dude was about to kill this little dude, and they were like, delete, delete. I was like, hell yeah, I like how they're back behind that. But yeah, a lot of delete chants.
Finish came when Jeff checked on Matt after a move from Sheamus, and Sheamus shoved Jeff to the ground. Jeff gets on the apron, and Cesaro pulls Jeff off of the apron. This caused a distraction long enough for Matt to hit the Twist of Fate on Sheamus for the win, for the clean win.
Yep.
And I was waiting on another bro kick, but it never came. We got another handshake here, which is boring.
But if you noticed, before Sheamus and Matt lock hands, Matt looks at him and he's like, are you sure? You're not fucking with me? Because if you are, you will be deleted. And he was like, I will delete you. So, I mean, he even kept throwing that shit in there at Sheamus's face.
I wonder if the fact that he did it more in this match means they're closer. I'm probably looking too much.
I think so. I from what I was reading, I think Wrestling Observer, something like that, said that WWE and TNA might have actually made a deal.
Oh, yeah?
They're just waiting to finalize.
Okay.
So I'm hoping it comes.
So it might just be a little bit,
Who knows? Maybe it comes and they're like, look, let's do it at Payback. Sheamus and Cesaro, y'all are going to win. And we got broken Matt and Jeff. So maybe not. I don't know.
I would be amazed if it happened this quick, but I mean, who's to say it won't?
Yep.
All right, next we got a backstage segment with Miz, and he complains to Kurt Angle about the opening segment. Angle says to find a partner because he's going to have a tag team match against Jericho and Ambrose.
Yep.
All right, next we have Neville and TJ Perkins versus Jack Gallagher and Austin Aries. We started off with Gallagher getting worked. We get a hot tag to Aries. We get a last chancery on Perkins, which is then broken up by Neville.
Of course.
I like the last chancery.
I mean, I do too, but I mean, it's a tag match. Of course it's going to get broken up.
All four men get in the ring, and Gallagher catches a kick from Perkins. He spins him around into a forearm from Aries, and then, just for good measure, Aries hits him with the Discus 5-arm. It was a decent match for the time they had. I don't think they were given a lot of time for this match, so they told a decent story for the little bit of time that they had. Nothing major here.
Just cruiserweights being cruiserweights.
I wish Gallagher wasn't background noise for all this, but we'll see.
I like Gallagher. I really do. I like his style. It's smooth, flowing. It is very wrestler, and he does a good job. I think he's got great charisma.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't say the best, but he's got really great charisma.
He's got really good charisma. He the Mary Poppins shit needs to stop.
Yes.
That's a little too corny for me. But yeah, I like Gallagher. I always have. For the very first time, I remember they were making such a big deal in the Cruiserweight Classic about Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
And then I watched Jack Gallagher, and I was like, well, this dude does everything Zack Sabre Jr. And this is not having seen either one of those guys before ever. It's like, this dude does everything Zack Sabre Jr. does. He just has more charisma when he's doing it.
Exactly. He's not some guy. To me, it's a jock that comes out in a baseball jacket, flips his collar like he's cool,
right,
and then he's got some fancy moves. But as far as in between those moves, telling us who he is, there's nothing.
Right.
You're generic.
Right.
And when you're generic,
I'm glad you said that. That might be sacrilegious to the people, the indie fans, but yeah, I didn't I got much more from Gallagher than
and it's
Sabre
cool,
Jr.
but unfortunately, I like somebody with a little bit of charisma.
Right.
Whenever you're generic like that, I'm going to call you generic. I'm not saying that he wasn't talented.
Oh, he's very
like
talented.
I said, he had the same moves as Jack Gallagher. He's just not as charismatic as him.
Right.
And he just looks like I went to create a character and made a cruiserweight. That's really all I see there.
A string bean cruiserweight.
And the thing is, this is like, you gave me all the talent to do it, but you only gave me like 50 points to make my attire. So I come out in some underwear, boots, and a jacket of sorts.
I don't mind that so much. It's just I don't know. I'm always, here's the thing. I do think it's bad when guys don't have charisma, but at the same time, I'm like, WWE fancies themselves storytellers.
Yep.
These dudes do their part by being amazing professional wrestlers. You can't come up with a good story that I would want to be interested in seeing these guys in.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't make a character. They have basically 4 kinds of faces and heels that they write for. And again, shout out to Wrestling Soup, because I heard this on there, and when he said this, I think it was Joey Numbers that made this point. I was like, he's fucking right. He's like, they have like the dominant baby face, like the Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. He said they have the baby face that's not dominant, but everybody loves him and he gets his ass kicked a lot. Sami Zayn. Daniel Bryan was like that. Yep. Rey Mysterio, once he got any belt on him, was like that because he just became a punching bag after that.
Oh, yeah.
And it just goes on down the line, and I'm going all 8, but it was like, yes. It's like the baby face that can't win, and it was just going down the line, and every one of them, who said it heals the same. So it's like the same 8, character styles that they write for.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, we've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this story before. It's just a different face in the role.
Yeah. I will say, Aleister Black in NXT, he's a little bit different.
But you can't count NXT because when he gets to the main
I
roster,
know.
he will be WWE eyes.
But that's what I'm saying. He's different, and I'm hoping that they might keep that because, dude, they're giving him, like, in NXT, they're giving him an entrance where he comes out as he's laying down, and he just...
I've seen the entrance.
Okay. And then his name, how it's all hieroglyphic, and then changes. I'm hoping, Vince... Almighty Vince, because I know that's what you probably prefer being called. Please make him at least decent and keep him somewhat the same.
You want to know the only person that's actually broken the trend of being put into a type of category for them?
The Rock.
No. I'm going to go even more recent than that. Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens should not be where he is. If you look at how he looks, like the guy comes out wearing basketball shorts and a cutoff shirt.
Mm-hmm. He's pasty.
He has a huge gut.
Pasty. I'm pasty too, so it's
he
cool.
had pubic hair glued to his face until like the last 2 weeks where he cut it. Mm-hmm. Like the guy screamed someone. He screamed indie guy. He screamed someone that WWE would take one look at and go, get the fuck out of here. We need to push, someone that looks like Chris Masters circa 2005.
He wouldn't have been offered a seat at the audition.
Right. But Kevin Owens has overcome shitty writing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, you don't have to, there's no, I read this on this dirt sheet. No, you can look at Kevin Owens and tell that he puts a lot of himself into his performances. He's not reading off a script. I think they may give him a script, but I think he takes bullet points from it. I don't think that he actually... You can tell it's a lot of him coming through because...
what's the famous saying? Don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness.
Right.
So if I get up there, and they say I'm supposed to say all this bullshit, and I at least keep it mentioned, but I go on my own little tangent, and it's great, and it comes over great, and I go back there, and you start yelling at me, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but hey, look at your ratings. Look at the pop I got.
But again, though, there's other people that have done that, and they get punished for that.
But
Kevin Owens hasn't.
But they have done that and not succeeded like he has.
There's been people that have been leaning towards succeeding that they kind of pull the reins back on.
Leaning towards, but you already knew that they liked Kevin Owens when they brought him in.
Well, look at Daniel Bryan. They tried to pull the reins back on him, and the fans wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Kevin Owens, I mean, whenever he first came in, he feuded with John Cena and beat John Cena.
That doesn't mean it. That means less and less the more it happens.
It does.
How many people beat John Cena and then go on to... Carlito beat John Cena the very first night he was in the company.
Okay, true.
That doesn't mean what it used to mean anymore.
True. But, well, true. But true. I mean, but true.
So, I mean, they could easily have... And I don't know, man. It's just something about Owens. He's so good at what he does.
He is.
That he just overcomes a lot of stuff. And on the face side... Daniel Bryan is that same way. They tried to stuff him in some stupid role, and the fans was not going to allow that to happen. They wanted him to be at the top of the card. They wanted him to be in a position that they wanted, and they ultimately made that happen, at least for 1 year.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they have their people that they're the characters they write for, and they don't know a lot. Now, on one hand, it's worked for years and years and years, but on the other hand, myself, I've watched this shit for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So I've seen everything that they got to offer, and it's like, dude, switch it up a little bit. Take a chance or two.
I mean, can we at least, like, instead of it just being the PG era, can we, like, make it the, whatever the, not NC-17, but the 13 or older?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's best case scenario.
You've got superhero movies that are rated R. Rated R. And they're breaking at the box office. Kids are going and seeing this. WWE, come on. Do you not understand that the kids in your audience have already seen worse than what you're putting on? Mm-hmm. No. Their cartoons these days are worse than what you're putting on. SpongeBob freaking SquarePants is worse than the shit you're putting on. Come on now. Come on. SpongeBob, damn it. SpongeBob.
I'll even go lesser than that, though. Dude, just take a chance on letting someone get over in a way that you didn't preconceive was going to happen. Like Braun.
Yeah.
Let Braun be what he was. Don't let him come out on Monday and go, well, I hate all the fans. And come on, dude. Mm-hmm. We don't need you dipping back into the same heel character we've seen 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
Just let Braun beat up whoever the fuck he wants to. Don't have him say a lot and let the fans think of him what they're going to think.
Yeah. If you want to make him bad, make him beat up somebody people actually don't want him to beat up. AKA anybody but Roman Reigns.
It's not that hard.
It's really not. Make him go out there and demolish Seth Rollins. Insta heat. Because Seth Rollins is babyface now. And like pure babyface. He's been babyface for a while. People love Seth. So you go out there and you start demolishing him, you get heat because people love Seth. They're like, why you beating up on my boyfriend? I can't do nothing about it. So I'm just going to not like your character no more. Braun, boo. But anyways,
yeah, we got Braun and Kalisto in this dumpster match.
Woohoo! Best match of the night.
Yeah. Well, it was hilarious watching Braun throw Kalisto around.
Oh yeah.
Braun hit this vertical suplex on Kalisto where he literally threw him 3/4 of the way across the ring. And I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, I actually wrote down Kalisto lawn dart.
Right, yeah.
Because that's all it was. He just took him and threw him like a fucking lawn dart, and he flew across the ring and then just splatted.
What else we got? I guess he teases for Braun to go into the dumpster. Multiple splashes in the corner on Kalisto.
Yes.
Braun goes to the apron and takes a drop kick into the dumpster.
Now let's correct this. It was a drop kick to the knees, people.
Yes.
So he jumped backwards into the dumpster.
You could see this coming from 10 miles away when he, for no reason at all during the match.
Dude, I saw this coming from last week.
Well, like I had a feeling when the match started that they might somehow make Braun lose this, but for him to go to the apron for literally no reason.
Yeah.
There was no reason. He didn't get kicked to the apron.
None.
He literally was standing on the inside of the ring where he was safe and just stepped outside.
Yep.
For some reason.
Mm-hmm. Because Braun not smart.
So we got so this really was just a backdrop for what happened after the match.
Yep.
And it sets up Kalisto's destruction. We get multiple choke slams from Kalisto, who was laying on the ground. Braun picks him up into the air with basically one arm. He did this like 3 to 4 times.
He did it 3 times total. Twice he did it without the help of his second arm. The 3rd time he actually like grabbed underneath Kalisto to pick him all the way up. I counted because I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I don't care who you are, that's gotta take some strength.
That's some Kane from circa like 97.
Yes, that is it. Braun, you look good doing that.
Let's see, we get him thrown into the barricade, then he throws him into the dumpster. And I'm like, where's he going to go with this? Because I was like, okay, is he going to push him off the stage? Because he pushed him off the stage. The stage is literally like 1.5 feet off the ground. Like, what are we doing right now?
Okay, let's give him better than that. It's 3 feet. Come on now.
This is not the Attitude Era stage that was a good 10 feet to the ground.
Where the dumpster would actually hit and then roll.
Right.
This dumpster just kind of like, oh, I'm going to fall. Oh, the ground caught me. Okay, I'm good.
So he pushes it up the ramp, and then, he teases pushing it off.
Which is, I don't know if I could push a dumpster up that ramp.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, dude, dumpsters are not light.
No,
and you could tell he was struggling a little bit with it.
Oh, yeah. Right there at the end, you could tell, like, it was like, oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm lucky I did this already.
Cannot show strain on face.
That's right. Pooh's self, wear diaper.
We get so he teases the push off the ramp, and then he actually does it, and Kalisto falls the treacherous 1.5 feet to the ground.
No.
The dumpster falls over on its side, and we get Kalisto being taken out. What was it, onto a stretcher?
Yes.
And he's taken to the vaunted local medical facility.
Yep. Because Braun
we can't say hospital.
Well, Braun did not at all go over to the side of the dumpster that was facing the edge and smack it so that Kalisto knew where the dumpster was going.
I didn't catch that, but did that happen? I have to look back at that.
Yeah. As Braun was putting the strap up over, he looked over the dumpster again and he smacked the side that was actually going off. Which, is good because you need to let the dude who's taking the fall know, hey, this is the fucking side that I'm about to lunge off of this stage that's 3 feet in the air. But hey, you still need to prepare yourself because if you're turned upside down, you might break your neck still.
Right.
So, I'm pretty sure Kalisto wasn't hurt. And I watched that and I'm like, I saw what you did there. It was kind of like a magician's secret that was just...
what I was actually hoping didn't happen because it was going to make the shit look even worse?
What?
Is if he pushed it off the side and he didn't actually, and it didn't actually tilt to one side, it just landed on the wheels and kept rolling.
Yes.
I was about to go, dude, that would look fucking awful. But luckily, however high the stage is, it's 1.5 feet, but it's probably 3 feet.
Well, he couldn't push it that fast to where it would just jump off. You'd have to push a dumpster pretty damn fast. And Braun's big.
Either pretty fast or it had to be pretty low. And that stage looks low.
It does. But, good thing is that it was low enough that the wheels actually would hang off without the corner of the dumpster touching the ground. That's why they had to make it 3 feet. They were like, we can't do our 1.5 stage anymore because we're going to have them do the whole pushy the dumpster off the stage. So we got to raise it up a little bit, make him look a little bit more powerful.
Wrestling Soup made a good point when I was on the way up here. He goes, these feats of strength by Braun are getting less impressive by the week. He tilted over in an ambulance the other week. Mm-hmm. Then he broke the ring, and now he threw a dumpster 2 feet off fucking stage.
That's what happens, and that's the risk you take when you go big up front.
Mm-hmm.
You should have pushed Roman off this a taller stage in the dumpster. Then you should have had him break the ring with Big Show And then I think you should have done the whole shit with the ambulance with Kalisto. I think that would have been a better build-up.
Yeah, I could see that. Go down, up, and then down, or up, down, and then up. Yeah.
Start up with Roman. You were in a dumpster, and instead of a 3-foot stage I pushed you off of, they raised it to 5. What? That
was actually slow. I mean, I know Roman was never on that stretcher, but that's actually a fairly tall fall for the dummy that they had strapped to it.
Oh yeah, that dummy took some shit. He is still at home recovering.
He's gonna be out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken spirit.
Yep. Much love to you, Curtis, or Kurt Hawkins. We hope to see you back soon. And that's a fact.
Kurt Hawkins. All right. Here we go. We get the Roman Reigns video package, and then we get a typical Bray Wyatt promo, blah, 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 blah. This feud's dead. I don't care.
Truthfully, I didn't watch them really.
I didn't either.
I kind of just checked my Facebook at that point and was like, you know what? Yeah, they're going to talk about how Roman, my yard, and Bray, House of Horror match. You're not going to survive. I already knew what he was going to say, so I was like, yeah. I'm just going to check my Facebook, update my status, you know.
Your title reign will be better than this feud.
Oh, yeah. I took a picture of a booger that I think I looked at. I actually think I wrote that in there. Nope. I think that's on Smackdown where I was picking my nose. Anyways.
Oh, man. We get, so next time we got Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox, and I wrote, this is what I wrote before the match. I was like, this could be bad.
Yes.
And Emma comes out, and, you know, long story short, we get a ridiculously botched Michinoku driver type move from Dana Brooke for the win. Dana hit the ground a full second before Alicia did. It was bad. It was a real bad botch. It was a real bad looking move.
I probably went and took a piss at this point because as soon as I saw that it was Alicia Fox and Dana Brooks, I was like, oh, okay, so this is the moment when you want me to go take a pee break, and I will do such a thing.
I think that Michinoku driver was the moment everyone realized she should. I mean, everyone knows she should be in NXT. Dude, she's not ready to be wrestling. Like it was that bad, dude. It's one of the worst moves. You know those moves that when they try to get in a ladder match and they'll try to do Matt Hardy will try to do a twist of fate off the top of the ladder and they don't exactly hit the ground at the same time.
Yeah, Matt hits and then 5 seconds later you see the other dude jump off the ladder and hit with him.
It was like this except there's no ladder.
Yeah.
It was bad.
She just kind of tossed her up. Well, I mean that at least shows that Dana's strong.
Yeah, she's a powerlifter. We know she's strong.
Well, hey, that's all that matters. This is WWE, baby. We don't need things to be factual.
Because they pushed a guy on top for 12 years who's not the most graceful guy in the ring.
Right.
Anyway.
Wait, who are we talking about? John Cena. Okay, that's what I thought.
Dude, he's got his moves to this day. He can put on a decent match, but his work punches are maybe the worst I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
But that's beside the point. Anyway, I felt bad for Emma seeing that horrible Michinoku driver because it's this chick actually has a decent amount of skill. I hope Emma doesn't get hurt. And that's a real possibility after seeing how bad that looked.
Yeah. And
I don't want Emma getting hurt in her first feud back because they put her with a chick who's obviously not ready for the main roster.
Not at all.
We get a Samoa Joe, Gallows, and Anderson promo. Actually, I thought this was a pretty good promo.
Well, yeah, it had Samoa Joe.
Well, yeah. Samoa Joe's awesome. We get a 6-man tag later that's confirmed with Enzo Cass and Seth Rollins. Joe threw up the 2 sweets at the end of this promo, which I thought was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Maybe that's where the club's going to come from?
I don't know. But I just thought it was awesome to see that. This was the last thing I expected. Because, Joe's supposed to be this loner killer type character.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So they don't know what to do with him.
Whatever they do, just keep having him win matches.
Yes.
That's all I'm worried about. So the match isn't later, it's actually next. So we got Enzo, Cass, and Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. And we get Joe and the club attacking during the entrance of Enzo and Cass. Enzo gets a magic killer on the floor. And after everything settles down, it is revealed that Enzo cannot go after the magic killer on the floor.
Yep.
So we need a replacement, and this is where Raw broke the hearts of millions of indie nerds when Enzo's replacement was revealed to be Finn Balor, a.k.a. the former member of the Bullet Club with Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Unless they're trying to go for like a whole, yeah, we're going to beat up Finn and Finn's going to beat us up type shit like Chris Jericho did with KO.
Yeah, but I don't know. That to me, that's kind of dumb. And they actually went for a while against each other in this match. To me, that's like some Aces and Eights shit from TNA, where fucking Aces and Eights literally beat the shit out of Bubba Ray Dudley for like a year on TV, and then at the end of the feud, at the end of their feud, it's revealed that Bubba Ray was the leader of Aces and Eights the whole time. It's like, huh? So I hope that's not what they're doing, but
yeah, I mean, that to me that kind of makes sense. If you want to be the leader, but you don't want to be the one that's expected to be the leader, get your ass kicked.
See, this is one of the things, when I was thinking about this earlier, I was like, if they still wanted to do this, this is one of the things WCW back in the day I thought did better than WWE, is say they had, like, say it was a tag team match, right, where you had, I don't know, let's throw, let's say, like, it was Dean Malenko and Sting tagging for some reason.
Yep. And
we have Ric Flair and Arn Anderson on the other team, and, you know, what WCW would do was they would have, like, Sting and Ric Flair start the match. I'm just throwing some shit out there, right? And say they wanted to actually put Dean with Rick and Arn. They would have, like, Sting working both Arn and Rick. And then at the end of the match, they would have Dean turn on Sting. And it would be revealed, you'd have, like, Tony Schiavone or somebody saying, you know what, guys, if we think about it, Dean never actually got in the ring and hit Arn or Ric Flair. And he'd be like, the fix was in. It was in the whole time.
Yeah.
To me, that's smarter than if they were to have the club kick the shit out of Finn Balor and then, you know, Finn hit finishes on them one week and then the next week Finn's part. Like, that's that's
dumb
to me.
In the same, it could be like Finn's just showing how badass he is. He's like, yeah, I want y'all to fucking kick my ass. I want you to put me down. I want him to think that this stuff between us is over because we're tag team partners. But I didn't forget how he took my shoulder out of socket.
I don't know.
I don't think so either, but I'm just saying they could go with it and still make it work.
Not to me. I would actually be mad if they did stuff like, because again, they're not sticking to consistency. Like, it's the thing with them that I hate. They're consistently inconsistent. I hate that shit, dude. Stuff should make sense.
Yeah.
But whatever. I put it was weird to actually see Finn working against the club in this match. But anyway, Finn's getting worked over, and we get a Rollins hot tag. And in this match, Rollins debuted his new high knee finish on Carl Anderson. And to counter what I said last week about Carl Anderson, everything's right with the world because Carl Anderson took the fall in this match. And I put, you know, I'm not actually a fan of this new finish from Seth. I said, guys, creative as Seth should be able to come up with something better than a knee.
Well, you know who he stole it from, don't you?
Who? Triple H?
No, Kenny Omega.
Is that right?
It's Kenny Omega's finishing move.
Okay, but I've seen Kenny Omega do some other stuff. I didn't know that was his finish. I've seen him do some.
He actually tweeted about it.
What did you say?
He was saying something as, well, at least I still have my entrance music.
Oh, wow. I mean, but that's what you get for not coming to the company quick enough. Somebody's going to steal your shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think that was in retort of somebody saying, Kenny, don't be sour about it because everybody stole their moves from somebody.
Right. I mean, CM Punk stole the GTS from Hideo Itami.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is.
Yep.
Anyway, like I said, I didn't agree with. I think Seth does fucking Phoenix splashes and, you know, springboard knees into the face.
He can come up with something.
He should be able to come up with something a little better than that.
But that's also writers. He's not the only one who comes up with the finisher. He has to have it approved. Oh. And probably somebody came up to him and was like, well, since your thing with Triple H is over. You remember you broke John Cena's nose with a knee. You could do like a high-rise knee for your finisher. Just like over here, you see Kenny Omega, how he does it? You can just put like a little spin on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like a mid-card finisher. And this guy's a top guy.
But whenever you're paid what he's paid to be the top guy, you just do what you're asked sometimes.
It's not a top guy finish. So
it's not.
Come up with something better.
It's not. He really does. He really does.
I don't know. Next, we got Alexa Bliss out in what I thought was a blistering promo. She beautifully owns the what chance in the crowd, which I thought was fucking awesome how she did it. I forgot how she actually said it.
She says, if Alexa is the best, say what? And the crowd's like, what?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
And she's like, thank you. Thank you.
So she... Hold up. She says she's here to win and not talk. This is kind of the only thing that I didn't like. She says she's here to win and not talk, and then she proceeds to talk for 10 minutes.
Yes.
I didn't really care for that part of it, but I know that's not really her. That's more what they do on Raw to take up fucking 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, she could have... Here's the thing. She could have started cutting a promo and started off hot and trailed off, but the longer it went, the more obvious that she's here. Yeah. And I've got my hand higher, and then Sasha and Bayley were here, and I got my hand lower for everyone listening. Bayley cut a typical babyface promo, typical Bayley promo, and Alexa began the massacre on the microphone. And I said it's obvious that Bayley is out of her league here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Bayley is not one to talk the talk with somebody who can trash talk.
Right. And that's the thing about Cena. Everybody says that Bayley could be this female John Cena, but the thing is, when John Cena wants to be tough, he can put on his black guy voice that he always puts on when he wants to start talking trash. So, you notice that?
Black guy voice.
Yeah. He does it. He does he falls back into thugonomics, but not all the way.
He starts referring it to the 5-knuckle shuffle again.
Yeah. Anyway, Sasha's music hits and it stops the bleeding. She tries to save face.
It wasn't even good.
But not really.
No, it wasn't even good. Not even good at all. Like,
no,
Sasha came out like playing back seat driver to help Bayley look like she's somewhat competent as a driver.
It made her look weak.
It really did.
Sasha says she'll shut up Alexa. Alexa says she feels unsafe around Sasha and she's going to get the match canceled.
Yep.
And Sasha punches Alexa in the face because that's what you do when you just got murdered on the microphone and you can't compete.
Dang, Skippy.
You have to punch someone in the face.
I mean, is that not what happens? I mean, most of these shit talkers, whenever, like, literally, we're out there and some dude, like, bumps into you or whatnot and you're like, excuse you, and they just want to start talking shit to you. But then all of a sudden you shut them down, and their friends are sitting there looking over at them like, man, what the...
I gotta save face somehow.
Man, and so it's just a quick little, well, I'm going to throw a right hand, whatever.
And if you notice at the end of every Dean Ambrose promo, that's how his always...
Oh yeah, he has to look tough somehow. I'm going to make him like me one way or another.
So we get an impromptu Alexa... I'll put Alexa was amazing in that segment in capital letters.
Oh, yes.
So we get an impromptu Alexa Bliss Sasha Banks match.
It wasn't impromptu. It was planned.
It was impromptu.
They wanted it
because they didn't advertise it.
Oh well, yeah, but whenever Sasha's sitting there going, and I'm going to go to the back and get this match canceled, it's not impromptu.
It's impromptu because Alexa didn't know she was going to be wrestling. Storyline purposes.
You quit saving her ass.
The match is nothing to see here, and there's no saving from that. They go at it for a few minutes, and Alexa gets in the bank statement. She gets put in the bank statement. She gets out of it, gets to the ropes, and she does the heel's favorite finish in WWE, which is just leave the fucking match.
Yep.
And they were touting how smart it was, and it is smart. But yeah, nothing to see here. They weren't going to actually do an actual Alexa Sasha match.
Are you not going to get to the ending?
What was the ending? I must not have wrote it down.
Oh my gosh, yeah. She's walking off and she's about to leave, and then Bayley comes up from behind her from the commentator's table and grabs her by the hair and like's going to throw her back into the ring.
I wrote nothing about the down.
Yeah, and then Alexa takes off. Like, she gets out of it, takes off, and Bayley's like, oh, well, I missed her this time, but we'll catch her again. Nah. Bitch Bliss came back and fucking smacked her in the back of her damn head and put her on the top of the fucking on-ramp and was like, what? You thought that I wasn't going to come back and beat your ass because you pulled on my hair? Do you know how long it took me to make this hair look this good? And then Sasha Banks comes running up there and Alexa's like, no, shit, nope, I'm gone.
And I halfway expected Alexa to come back out and hit Sasha.
I really wanted it too. I was sitting there like leaned up forward looking at the TV like, come on back out. I want you like drop kick Sasha or something. This is going to be great. But she never came back. Alexa, you disappointed me.
No, Alexa had a great night.
She did. She did a good, wonderful job.
Next we get an Ambrose segment in the back. Ambrose is trying to get off the list. He convinces Jericho after some hesitation to actually take him off the list. And then in celebration of getting off the list, he smacks Jericho's arm incessantly. And Jericho doesn't like this. So Jericho puts him back on the list.
You know what happens to people who incessantly smack Chris Jericho? Do you know what happens to people who incessantly smack Chris Jericho in the back? You just made the list!
You just remade the list.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's the only person who's made it twice. And so it shall be, Dean. You have made the list twice.
Your suckage dictates that you make it twice.
You are suckage squared.
Miz tries to get Heath Slater, and I missed part of this too. He tries to get Heath Slater and or
Curtis Axel.
I'll put Kurt Hawkins for some reason as a tag team partner. He says he has a partner, and Rhino shows up eating crackers and cheese, and with a shirt that says "Vote for Rhino."
Yep, and it was a mysterious letter delivered to the Miz where he found out he had his partner. And then he smacks like either he or Maurice.
I couldn't tell who it was because I turned my head for a quick second. I think it was Maurice, though.
I think it was Maurice. Smacked the chips out of his. Oh yeah, he offered Maurice some chips. That's what it was.
It's like, no, the crackers.
The crackers. He's like, you want some crackers and cheese? And she was like, bam. And the only thing I remember purely from this whole list is that Rhino had a cracker stuck above his right pectoral for the rest of the segment. Like, it was just there, stuck against his shirt. It never fell. And as long as he was on camera, it was just stuck there. And I was like, is someone going to get this cracker off this dude's chest?
No, it needed to stay there just for emphasis.
It was great.
But yeah, Maurice is too ritzy. And she can't eat cheese and crackers. That's common people food.
Exactly. It must be Ritz and shredded cheddar.
So she smacks the play. Then Miz gets a note, and he smiles and said, "Well, it looks like he's found an awesome partner tonight."
Yep.
Next we get Kurt Hawkins basically bragging about being a job guy. He issues an open challenge, and it is answered by Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
Total showcase for Crews.
Yep.
Crews looked great here.
Not only for Crews, but for the Titus brand.
No. We'll get to that. Crews looked great here. He won with his weird power bomb that I don't really care. I would love to see him actually shorten this power bomb up.
Yeah.
To where, because I don't think that's going to work at a higher level. Like if they were ever to decide to push him, which seems laughable right now, you need something quicker. I mean, look what Seth Rollins just switched his finish to. It's a quick knee to the face.
Mm-hmm.
You need something quick. I would actually like to see him if he's wants to use a power bomb. Why not use D'Lo Brown's Sky High?
Yeah,
I actually like that a lot. And then the segment was completely ruined with Crews looking great and getting the win by Titus O'Neil, who came out to the ring, and for some reason I didn't even put too much on it. I just put he came out to the ring and ruined the segment. What was he taking fucking selfies and shit?
Yeah, I mean he was trying to promote the Titus brand.
I don't know.
Titus brand.
Who gives a shit?
Trojan man.
I need to be in catering. That's where Titus O'Neil needs to be.
No, he does not need to be in catering. He needs to be at the front door taking tickets and using the metal wand to make sure nobody's coming in with a gun or a knife or anything.
Dude, be a road agent, be anything but on air talent. I don't want to see Titus anymore.
I'm tired of your teeth.
Go be an ambassador. I don't mind his. I'm not going to get in the way he looks. I just can't stand his character.
He's always. That's the only thing I remember about Titus, because everything else sucks. He's just teeth. He's just a whole big top row of teeth, and they're just all pearly whites. I'm not saying anything bad about him. You got pearly white teeth. You get them things fixed on. I get you.
Well, to be fair, he's a dark-skinned dude, so his teeth are going to look like the sun brightness.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but it looks like he's got like fucking 3-inch teeth in there. I mean, and that's just the top fucking row. And you know it's true. That's why you're sitting here laughing.
No, it made me think of, I was watching, do you remember, what was it? One of the Comedy Central roasts, you know who Greg Giraldo is?
Yeah.
They had Gary Busey there, and he told Gary Busey, he said, his big ass teeth look like a row of urinals. Every time you smile, I want to piss in your mouth. Oh man, those roasters, some of those roasts are funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so we see Kurt Angle in the back, and he asks Miz if he's found a tag team partner.
But before that, real quick, he was talking to Austin Aries about getting a certain type of match set up.
That's right. I think I walked in late on that, but I saw Aries leaving.
But he was actually sitting there talking, and I mean, you didn't know the
what
details.
What is Aries' deal with the bananas?
Dude, I really don't know. I mean, maybe.
That hasn't been explained. He's always eating a banana or playing with a banana.
Maybe him and Carlito are going to be tag team. You
got
got bananas and apples. Apples and bananas. Maybe he's going to come out in some pajamas.
I don't know.
He'll be bananas and pajamas.
Aries didn't fit in his... he didn't fit bananas, and I don't think that would be more gross than an apple.
It would be, because I'm pretty sure a banana gets mushy real fast. It does. So you're pretty much just spitting out baby food.
Ugh. But yeah, so what did he actually... He said he wanted a title shot or something like that?
Yeah, he said, it'd be better if it was just a title shot and blah, blah, blah. And Angle was like, yeah, you know what, you're right, but I'll have to get back to you on it. Let me think about it. And Aries was like, you know what? That's all I asked for. But then again, Aries and Angle both were on TNA.
Right. And, yeah, I got to think about it, because I'm either going to give the title shot to you or I'm going to give it to Mustafa Ali. So, one of you two.
Mustafa Ali.
I'm going to give it to you, or I'm going to give it to Arya Daivari.
Woo! Arya Daivari.
Come on now.
Or, what's the fucking Bollywood brother? Grove?
Herv and Garv.
Herv and Garv, okay.
Sing.
Those are some weird fucking names. Harv
and Garv, something like that. They're twins, I know that.
Garv or Garv.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just... Come on now. I'm happy y'all went with Singh Brothers, and... I really do hope.
I wish they kept it Bollywood Boys.
I really don't, because I hated how they were doing that shit. I really did. I mean, I really did.
I think Bollywood Boys stands out more than Singh Brothers.
It does, but whenever you're coming out to the fucking ring with a fucking little action little Dillio thingy mabobber, I can't think of the perfect name for it,
right?
But you know what I'm talking about. And you're sitting there like crouched on the ground, just hopping around in a circle, while your brother, crouched a little bit further off of the ground, is hopping around counterclockwise to your circle. It gets on my nerves. It's like y'all just look like y'all are a circus act.
But you just changed the meaning of the gimmick. Like Edge and Christian weren't doing 5-second poses the entire career. You know, Edge's thing changed over time, and so did Christian. You can change them over time.
Still, the 5-second pose was at least better than, as we're going to come
better,
out,
no doubt, but
I'm going to come out crouched like a crab, and I'm just going to hop side to side, raising the roof.
But my point is, they evolved from that. So you can evolve, and just evolve.
They didn't evolve from that. They evolved from the Brood.
Well, they evolved from the Brood, but they evolved from that
because they evolved into a 5-second pose,
and then they evolved into something else.
But they still bring back the 5-second pose.
I understand that, but the Bollywood Boys could evolve. All you had to do was stop making them do that and start making them dress like they've been dressed.
No, I'm saying you could keep the Bollywood Boys. I'm fine with that, whatever.
That's what I would.
I just get irritated about him being crouched against the ground and sitting there raising the roof one way, as his brother is just slightly less crouched against the ground, raising the roof the other way. It's like you really just look like you're dumb and don't really know what to do here.
That's like every other gimmick they come up with.
I know, but I mean, can I not be crucial about it?
You could have. I'm trying to think of fucking Prince Albert. Yeah, he evolved, did he not?
No. He changed his name to Lord Tensai. That's it.
No, he went from Prince Albert, then he went to Albert, then he went to A Train. He evolved.
Okay, he changed his name.
His name wasn't slang for a dick piercing after a while.
He changed his name and changed what he wore. That was it. He didn't change.
He did change.
No, he didn't.
Dude, he went from his name being slang for a dick piercing to actually being a believable monster.
Yeah, all I said was he changed his name. Okay, so you got away from...
He changed his name, he changed his attire, he changed how his character acted.
He didn't change his character.
His character used to bring a fucking piercing gun and a suitcase to the ring. It didn't do that anymore after
Maybe I didn't watch that type of Albert.
Dude.
Because the only Albert I remember, besides him changing into Lord Tensai, and at one point in time, I think, did he not, like, tag with, like, Scotty 2 Hottie and Grandmaster Sexy?
No, he tagged with Brodus Clay.
That's who it was.
Tons of fun, yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was somebody that danced a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Tons of Funk was the only character change I actually saw. Other than that...
No, I'm sorry. I'm going back to like 299,
okay,
2000.
So see, I didn't pay attention to that Albert. Because the first Albert I remember is like Albert in Test.
Yeah, and that was... Yeah, see, I didn't even think of that one. But yeah, he was...
He came out with the mesh shirt. He had the piercings. He came out all stocky.
Okay, yeah, the piercings were still left over from Prince Albert when his whole thing was, I'm going to walk to the ring with a suitcase, and it's got, supposedly hinted at a bunch of piercings inside and a piercing gun, and he had all the fucking studs in his face and cheek, and the piercings in his face were still left over from the Prince Albert gimmick.
Okay, so that's what... I didn't see the actual Prince Albert gimmick, I guess. But yeah, to me, Prince Albert or
A Train or whatever,
or
Tensai.
Lord Tensai or the Funkadooka-Dooka-Doo, whatever he wanted to be called. As far as his actual mentality, to me, it never changed. The character, the outfit, the gimmick may have changed because WWE tried to repackage it, but he didn't change with the gimmick.
He didn't. Well, I mean, the Tons of Funk shit was just... That's when he jumped the shark. But I mean, I think a lot of the reason that he didn't change was because you can only do so much with a guy that's that big. Guy that's that big, it comes into wrestling, he's going to be booked as a monster. He's a legit, 6'7", 6'8"?
Oh, yeah.
350 pounds? Yeah. The guy's not going to be doing fucking a lot other than bullying people around. So, I mean, that's what you're either going to bully people around or you're going to be a comedic character.
Real quick, how did we even get onto A-Train?
Just talking about evolution of characters.
That's crazy. Okay, let's get away from A-Train because you're not even here anymore.
All right. I done lost where we were at now too.
We got Angle in the back with Aries. Sees the Miz, asks about the partner. He says he has one, like the best partner of all time. And then you get a fucking drifter in the background.
Angle goes, interesting choice.
Yeah, exactly. Angle's doing great. I'm loving Angle at this point. He's doing a wonderful job. And Miz retorts going, that's not him.
I don't even know the drifter.
Exactly. But yeah, so we had that finished.
Then we get this is the main event actually.
Yeah, Chris and Dean versus Miz, and
Miz
don't find out.
Miz goes to introduce his tag partner who never comes out. Miz then tries to cancel the match, and Kurt Angle's music hits and he comes out and he will not let the Miz cancel the match. So we're gonna go into a handicap match for the time being. We get Miz getting worked over and over again, until randomly Bray Wyatt shows up. Bray is revealed to be Miz's mystery partner.
I don't even know if it was revealed to be his partner. I mean, obviously to us
he tried to work together for about 5 seconds.
Exactly, but then he ends up just fucking the Miz over in the end.
Well, you know why they did that, though. Yeah. They had to make him look strong for the
I mean, it was just weird. It was dumb.
Yeah, it was dumb. And I was watching DT and KC, and they were saying, it's basically like Bray was in the back, and they go, yeah, we need a spot to put you on the show. Just go out here and be Miz's partner. But I'm not even involved with Miz right now. It doesn't matter. Just go out there and be Miz's partner, and we'll figure out the rest. It's like, that's exactly what happened. They just kind of just tossed him out there.
Yep.
Made no sense.
Beat up Dean Ambrose, beat up Chris Jericho. There's not going to be a tag. There wasn't even a finish to the match.
No, it was a Sister Abigail for Ambrose. Then Bray tells Miz to take Jericho to the ring. In the ring, we get a code breaker on the Miz. Jericho gets up. He eats his Sister Abigail. And then Miz is back up and he has his hand on Bray's shoulder, and Bray's like looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then Miz eats a Sister Abigail to end the show.
Yep. And follow the buzzards about a match I don't even care about seeing.
No, I don't. I'm done with the match already, and it's not even. It hasn't even started. Like, I'm done with this feud. I'm ready to see both of them go. You know, Randy Orton's going to give his usual 67% in the match.
Yep. And then he's going to lose it to Jinder Mahal.
Jinder my balls. All right. So before we get too far into SmackDown, let me get to the SmackDown part of my notes. All right. So this is SmackDown from the 25th. We have a Shinsuke Nakamura segment to start off SmackDown. I was initially hyped about this. Nakamura comes out for an interview, and he is immediately interrupted by Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
Dolph basically calls Nakamura Michael Jackson, and an awful promo.
Yes, very, very poor.
Nakamura calls him a jackass, and then Dolph attacks. Shinsuke hits his inverted T-bone, and he teases a Kinshasa, and Dolph gets out of the ring. What did you think of this segment? Because I wrote down a lot.
Truthfully, I was not impressed with it at all. I was kind of irritated with the whole angle they took with it. You cut off Shinsuke whenever you could have actually given him an interview and him actually sound decent. But then you have Dolph in there to just cut him off and not even like jokingly do a good interview. It was horrid. And then Shinsuke's retort, he said a little bit in English, which I didn't even write it down. But then it was the rest in Japanese, and then he and Dolph get into a fight.
This was the drizzling shits. WWE is already messing up Nakamura. In my opinion, Shinsuke Nakamura is talking way too much.
Yes.
He should not be talking this much. It is not his strong point. It's not everyone's strong point to come in and cut 20-minute promos. And this wasn't 20 minutes, but there's some people that are built for that, and there's some people that are not. Shinsuke is not built for that. So here's the thing. In any other place, in any kind of entertainment or sports, since they like to call themselves sports entertainment, if you don't, here's the thing. If I'm a football player and I'm great at rushing the passer, I'm great at getting quarterback sacks, but I suck against the run, then I'm probably only going to be used on third down when I have to be rushing the quarterback and not trying to stop the run.
Yep.
You have Shinsuke Nakamura, who has this infectious charisma and personality, but his English is his second language. He doesn't speak it that well. So why not have him speak less, connect with the crowd more during his, his own charisma, do with his own charisma during his entrances, during his, pre-match, all of those things with his entrance music. All of that stuff works so well for him. Let those things get over. And I wrote down here, I said, you can build someone into a massive face without them saying a word. Goldberg in his initial WCW run hardly ever spoke. I remember there being specific segments where he would destroy someone and then he'd be on his way to the back, and Gene Okerlund would come from the back and he would try to interview him and he'd stick a microphone in his face, and Goldberg would tease saying something, and then he would just sigh and walk off. And you couldn't get anything out of Goldberg.
Yep.
Not only that, at the same time this was going on, Sting, during his whole transformation into the Crow character, did not speak for 18 fucking months and was the most over babyface in WCW. Did not say a single word for 18 months on camera.
Oh, yeah.
And those were the weeks that WCW was kicking the shit out of WWE in the ratings.
Yep.
Nakamura needs to be different, and here he looked exactly the same.
He looked worse because he can't cut a promo like the rest of the guys.
Exactly.
It's not his language.
Exactly.
So you're sitting here and putting him in a situation where him and Dolph are going to come out pretty much the same. I mean, Dolph beat him up a little bit. He beat up Dolph a little bit. Yeah, it looked like Dolph. I mean, Dolph was going to get the worst part of it, but Dolph got out of there. So then you have him doing his come on thing where he's sitting there with his hands next to his genitals and like,
Right.
I mean, that in and of itself, but it's like you could have done more with him saying less.
Bingo. Can't say it better than that. More is not always more. Less is more. And it's especially less is more with someone like Shinsuke.
Especially if that's their strong suit.
There it is. There it is. So yeah, not a good start for Nakamura, and I really, really hope that was just something they wanted to try, and now they're going to actually come with the real stuff, and that this is the exception to the rule and not the rule that we're going to see Nakamura out there trying to cut promos, because all of his momentum is going to be killed dead within 2 months if they keep trying to trot him out here and do this. So anyway, not a good start, and I hope it changes. Next we have AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin. What'd you think of this match?
Let's see. La 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 la. I thought it was a decent match, actually. I actually thought it was a... I mean, you got AJ Styles in the match. Of course it's going to be somewhat decent of a match.
That's the trump card.
And so, I mean, it helped my guy, Baron. Baron, we're going to have a talk later.
Oh, I got your thing about him being the favorite for Money in the Bank. I knew he was going to be.
Not only that, did you see the thing about talking smack?
No.
We'll get into that later, but I'm kind of pissed off about it. Fuck you, Baron. Anyways.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, you're still my dude, but fuck you, dude. Come on now. Come on. Anyways, yeah, Baron versus AJ. You got KO coming out for commentating. Baron, I said, was strong. He always looks strong.
Yeah.
I mean, in a match, he looks strong. He's going to hit you once and knock you across the damn ring. You're going to kick him and punch him, and he's going to be like, and then he's going to catch you with that forearm that clearly knocks you across the ring.
Right.
And, I mean, so, yeah, Baron, you look strong. AJ out-wrestled you. I mean, he does. So, I mean, I can't hold that against Baron, and I didn't hold it against Baron. Of course you were going to get out-wrestled. You were held in a side headlock for so damn long, I didn't know when it was going to end. Because he just fucking kept going with it. But, yeah, then, let's see. Oh, I wrote, Baron hit AJ. AJ rolls backwards and gets tied up in the ropes. And Baron comes with a fucking vicious boot and kicks AJ out the ropes.
Right.
I mean, huge freaking boot. That looked vicious. I was happy about that.
Yeah, it did. Okay, what I got down here is we got the kick you just talked about, and it was vicious. Again, AJ, he also hit a choke slam into a backbreaker that was awesome.
Yeah, that was my next note, was actually that. It was a choke slam, and he was up there. It wasn't like a small little one. No,
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
I haven't either, and it was nice to see.
I'll give him a lot of points. It's very impressive as far as creatism. But again, he's in there with
AJ Styles.
Yeah. AJ bumped like crazy in this match.
Yes.
To the point where sometimes I wish he would bump a little less, simply because, bro, it's a Smackdown. It's a run-of-the-mill Smackdown. Save that shit for a pay-per-view, man.
Yeah,
a body's only got so many bumps in it.
But AJ Styles been going big or go home since day one.
But he's also not 25. He's fucking 40 years old.
When your body's conditioned to it, it's conditioned to it.
But I don't want to see him looking like the
Undertaker
in
like
either. 2-3 years. But anyway, AJ bumps like crazy. Owens gets involved, and he gets kicked in the face. We get a phenomenal forearm attempt from AJ, and Corbin moves. He goes for a powerbomb on Styles, and Styles reverses it into a sunset flip for the win. AJ wins, as he should win. I mean,
yep. I did write in there where KO was on commentating, and AJ Styles went for the calf crusher, and Baron was holding on to the ropes, but the ref wouldn't call AJ to cut the hold.
Yeah.
And KO was
Pointed that out.
Yeah, KO was like, shouldn't the ref be cutting this right now? I mean, Baron is in the ropes. Come on now. I'm a better referee. I'm a better commentator. I'm a better U.S. champ. What's going on here?
He's just a man.
He really is.
Styles reverses the Sunset Flip for the win, and we get Owens and Corbin attack Styles after the match, and we get Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's music hits.
Yep.
Sami punches Owens off the apron, and he hits a haluva kick on Corbin.
Yep.
Owens tosses Sami out and hits a pop-up powerbomb on Styles, and then Owens stands tall over everyone basically in the ring.
Yeah.
With the U.S. title.
Yep, as he should be.
Again, it'll be interesting to see. You know, they got another few weeks to build this, so we'll see what goes. I would imagine everyone's going to get their turn to stand on top, because you know that I don't know what the match at the pay-per-view is going to be like. Have they confirmed that it's going to be a singles match, or are they going to throw other people in this match?
I haven't heard it's confirmed for a singles match, but at the moment, that's all that's been announced.
Okay. Well, we'll see, because I got a feeling somebody different is going to be standing tall at the end of every week up to the pay-per-view. But I'm surprised that they beat Corbin clean here. What did you think about that? I thought there would be some kind of, you know, well, I mean, I guess that was considered a fuck finish, but I don't know. I'm just amazed that they were.
It's AJ Styles though.
It is AJ Styles. So.
And I mean, Corbin didn't look weak.
He didn't look weak.
Yeah, he lost, but I mean, he was.
And he got his heat back after the match by attacking Styles.
Exactly. So I mean, it wasn't a lose-lose. It was a win-win, in my opinion. AJ Styles stays looking strong. He beat Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin still stays looking strong, being strong, and beating the shit out of AJ with KO afterwards. So I mean, I wasn't disappointed with it. I wasn't upset with how Baron went throughout the match. Fucking talking smack, we'll have a different conversation, Baron.
Well, go ahead and get into that now, because we don't usually review Talking Smack.
Well, on Talking Smack, you get your first people or whatnot. I don't even remember who they were. Truthfully, I fast-forwarded through it because I heard something happen to Baron, and I was like, what's going on? So I get towards the end of it, and Sami Zayn is the guest. Well, Sami Zayn's sitting there talking about Baron Corbin, and guess what the fuck happens? Baron Corbin comes out and is like, you want to fucking talk about me? And beats the shit out of Sami Zayn.
Okay.
But that's all fine and dandy. I'm happy with that. Baron, you did a good job. You smashed his head into the table. You, punched him a couple times. Granted, while you were talking shit, you said the same thing 3 or 4 times in a row. I kind of got bored with that. You need to change it up.
He's a robot.
Exactly. But I looked past that. He threw him up over the table. Sammy's getting tossed around like a fucking child. Baron comes back, starts punching him some more. Referee gets involved, and Baron, in his rage, pushes down a referee. He is now fined and suspended. Apparently, there is a plan to repackage him. I don't know why.
Whoa.
But yes, apparently there is a plan to repackage Baron Corbin.
And where did you read this? I gotta look that up now.
Wrestling Observer, I think is what it's called, but online.
That was the last thing I expected you to say. Was they're gonna? I thought they were huge boners for this dude.
I did too, and that's why I'm pissed off. Because it's like, yeah, I understand. You need to work on your mic. Okay, but you look good. The concept of you is good.
Yeah.
I don't mind your entrance. I don't mind your ring work. I don't mind anything but how you try to shit talk. That is the only thing I think you really need to fix. And if you could fix it, you're A fucking plus. But now they're just wanting to go ahead and scrap it and repackage him.
And you want to know what's funny is, if they do repackage him, right, he's basically being himself right now. And he's having problems speaking.
Yep.
Whatever goofy ass gimmick y'all saddle him with, if he's having trouble speaking as himself, what kind of problems do you think he's going to have speaking in whatever goofy ass gimmick they come up with?
Exactly. And that's where my problem comes. It's like, I know how WWE ruins things. And I don't want you to fucking bury Baron. I would like to see him at least a mid-card champion.
Right.
I think he could be a bigger champion, a wrestling WWE or Universal champion, if he got his speech and his promo cutting good.
I will say one tweak I would like them to do to his look. I'd like them to cut his hair.
You don't like his hair?
I think he's got to admit he's going bald and do something with it.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of long and stringy.
Well, yeah, but as soon as he like moves his head down, you can see like he has a skullet coming in. So like he'll have a skullet within 2 or 3 years.
I mean, just go ahead and dye him blonde and repackage him as Hulk Hogan.
Or just cut it all the way off and accept baldness, man.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, that was the part that I didn't like about that.
I'll have to check into that, man. I haven't heard that, but that'd be odd. But again, I mean, stranger things have happened. So.
Yeah. But anyways, next match on SmackDown.
So next we had a Charlotte interview, and she says gold runs through her veins.
Oh yeah.
And she'll prove that tonight, and she's already the greatest superstar ever. Not the greatest women's superstar ever, the greatest superstar ever.
That is a little bold.
But I love that she said it.
I do.
Because here's the thing, even if you weren't thinking it before, you are now.
Yeah.
So I like that. Here's the thing, if you're already saying and this is not on some feminist shit, because I can't stand feminism. I think feminism is cancer. But when you look at Charlotte, she has the skill, especially being as new to the business. I don't know how many people realize she's only been in the business like 3 to 4 years. As new to this business as she is, and as quickly as she picked it up, she could, by the time it's all done, be the best, easily women's wrestler ever. But you know what? If you say, I'm the best ever, regardless of gender,
yeah,
you know what they're not asking? If you're the best women's wrestler ever. Because if you're in conversation with the best ever, then they're not asking, well, is she the best women's wrestler?
Nope.
Because by default, if you're the best ever, then you have to be the best women's wrestler ever. So I love the confidence.
Oh, yeah.
And then she shoos the interviewer away. Which,
yep.
Again, she's great at playing a bitch.
But apparently they're trying to make her babyface, so...
Did you get that? I don't know. I mean, that's what it looks like, but we'll see.
I don't know. But
we'll get to that, though.
Yeah.
American Alpha and the Colons in the Beat the Clock Challenge.
This was boring.
Yes, it was. And I said not the greatest match ever.
And an ugly fucking finish.
Yeah, the Grand Amplitude looked like it about killed one of the Colons.
It really did. I mean,
yeah.
It looked like his colon ruptured.
They at least had new
music and attire. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did they have new music? I didn't hear. I know attire. They had new music.
It was like they took the Primo and Epico music back when they had Rosa Mendez.
Yeah. And
tried to blend it with Shining Stars.
Okay. See, they've never even been on my radar as far, and I'm an entrance music buff, but they've never even been on my radar as far as... I wasn't really a big buff of them or even learning of them. I knew Carlito's shit, though. Carlito's shit.
Yeah.
But no, I've never really been that big of a
fan. But yeah, that was...
They need Carlito, but Carlito has no interest in that.
No, none at all. But yeah, that finish was fucking nasty. Yeah. It was disgusting. And then he was like all grabbing on his balls the whole time, trying to like get him to pin. He's like, all I can grab is your penis right now. And I'm like, Chad, come on now, come on.
Yeah, I know the match was bad because I only wrote down 3 notes about it. I put not the greatest match ever. So the Grand Amplitude looked like it killed one of the Colons, and they set the time at 5:17.
Yep, that was about it.
I put same old thing for the Colons. New gimmicks, still no winning. I said how long before they get repackaged into their 16th gimmick.
Woohoo!
I said maybe their next gimmick can be getting repackaged into a new gimmick every week. Dude, how many gimmicks have they had? They've had like about 5 gimmicks, have they not?
About 5 or 6, yeah.
It's ridiculous. He said that would probably actually get over because it worked for David Sandow. So.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, the Big Show even did it for a while.
Did
he? Yeah, whenever he came out as like Conan the Barbarian, and then next week he'd come out as like somebody else. And...
Is that during the time where he came out like as a battle rapper?
Yeah.
And got destroyed by Cena?
Yeah. He kept coming out as different people or whatnot. Sometimes he'd come out as a different wrestler, but then sometimes he'd come out as like Conan the Barbarian or something.
So next we got an appearance from Rusev, who's actually hurt right now. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
But
shoulder?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I like the excuse that they gave, and it actually sets up something good for him in the future. Rusev says he refuses to appear for SmackDown until he gets a title shot at Money in the Bank because he does not like Daniel Bryan or Shane McMahon.
Yeah, and it's very specific.
Now, what that does is that sets him up as a main eventer, and it also tells you about when he'll be back.
Yep.
I like both of those things.
Oh, yeah.
So...
They did good with that.
But yes, he's actually injured. So I'm gonna put that in quotation marks.
I mean, you could tell also in the video how he was like trying to look at the postcard to make sure he had his lines memorized,
Right.
or at least somewhat where they would flow. Because like for the first 30 seconds or something of his recording, he was just sitting there staring off to the side, and I could see his eyes going back and forth like he was reading something.
See, I didn't catch that, but I'm not usually looking for it. The only time it's been blatant to me is when Roman cut that promo after he won the Royal Rumble, and you could like literally see him looking off at the cue cards.
Yeah.
Looking back at the I was like, dude, come on now.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for it, but don't. I'll let you manipulate me, but fucking try to manipulate me here.
I notice all that shit. I notice all of it. It's crazy. Like I'm really anal about that type of shit. And whenever something like that happens, like I think I even have something in here where they cut off somebody's mic, but I think it was Jinder Mahal's. But we'll get down to that later. But yeah, I'm very anal about that type of shit.
Yeah, there's one of the Don Tony Kevin Castle show, the one another podcast I listen to. Don Tony is real anal about small details. He hates when they ignore it. Mm-hmm. And I do too. I actually really hate when they ignore it, but I've come to accept that that's how they are. And if I'm going to watch them, I kind of have to just overlook it. Yeah. But yeah. So I don't even bring it up anymore. They've conditioned me to fucking accept scraps.
Well, that's what I'm here for, buddy.
So next we got a Becky Lynch interview. They began talking about Charlotte until the other members of the SmackDown's women's division appear, and they tell Becky that she either is with them against Charlotte or she's against them. And then we cut away. And that is foreshadowing for the rest of the show, but we'll see that later.
I'll go ahead, since you didn't watch Talking Smack. I did watch this part. Becky Lynch said that the reason why she doesn't come out later on is because it's not her fight.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yep. But isn't next Randy versus Rowan?
Yeah.
Yep. Randy Orton versus Rowan, no DQ. I was not looking forward to it.
Let me put what I put, because I put a couple things before the match started. I said, Randy Orton is boring. Eric Rowan is boring. So this match will be boring.
Boring squared, technically.
I said, Orton is starting to creep into Dean Ambrose territory with me.
Yeah, it's true. It really is, because, I mean, it's nothing interesting. It's just him coming out pretty much and hoping that him appearing will be enough.
Yeah, him giving his normal 55%.
Yep.
Anyway. So, anyway, we got the match starts with...
This is actually the match I said I picked my nose on.
Oh, yeah?
I actually have that wrote down. It says, Randy versus Rowan, no DQ, picked my nose.
Well, there were a couple things to get into, but the outcome of this match was never in doubt. Yeah. Rowan hits a decent drop kick. He then grabs a kendo stick at some point, and he hits Orton in the shoulder. And I always watch Orton's matches knowing how shit his shoulders are. So I always kind of cringe when he gets hit in the shoulder. I'm like, there's another 9-month injury.
Yeah. Real quick, I will say I wrote this down because it really kind of pissed me off. But I think it was before Rowan actually came out and Randy had a microphone. And he was talking about the match Sunday. And he was like, I don't know what a House of Horrors match is, but this Sunday, I'll find out. And it's like, yeah, because the pay-per-view's this Sunday, right, bro. So, yeah, okay. Appreciate you.
Also, did he say some shit about, like, fucking... Bray said a bunch of stuff about sending him to hell and the House of Horrors will be his personal hell and shit like that. And, like, at the end of his promo, he goes, well, I'll send you to hell. It's like, dude, you just said what he said. What are you talking about? Like, try to come up with a decent retort.
We're in middle school.
It's like, oh my god.
Yep, shit was just crazy.
Anyway, Rowan tries to put Orton through a table with a suplex off the apron. Orton blocks this, and he grabs the kendo stick, and he hits Rowan until he falls through the table and onto the outside of the ring. And probably one of the worst falls ever.
Yes.
Although, I don't know, either he sold it really well, or he actually... You remember when Hardcore Holly fell through the table and he had the piece of the table rip open his back?
Yeah.
Like, he looked like he was actually in some pain. Now, it may have just been good selling.
I think it was good selling.
Okay, because I was like, man, I hope that same shit didn't happen to dude. Where, like, ripped in the dude's back. Because Holly had to get, like, 14, or somewhere between 14 and 20 stitches for that shit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But anyway. So, the match keeps going. We get, I put Rowan got a lot more offense in this match than I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
But
it lasted longer than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I thought it would be, especially when the weapons came out. I thought it was really quick. Rowan fights out of an RKO. He hits Orton with the stairs, and again in the shoulder, so I cringe there.
Yep.
Rowan sets up a chair in the corner. He tries to whip Orton into the corner. Orton stops himself. Rowan comes charging in like an idiot, and he knocks himself on the chair.
Who saw that coming?
And he turns right into an RKO out of nowhere. But again, as my co-host just said,
who saw that coming?
About everybody. Orton cuts.
So is it really out of nowhere if everybody saw it coming?
It's out of nowhere as soon as fucking WWE sticks their branding on it.
It's out of nowhere when JBL says it's out of nowhere.
Right.
That's bullying out of nowhere. Sorry, John.
Why? He wouldn't be sorry.
Right? But anyway, so yeah, you got the end of the match.
After the match, Orton cuts a promo on Bray, and Jinder My Balls comes out, and he cuts off. He cuts the same foreigner versus U.S. promo that we've seen 80,000 times.
But to me, truthfully, I actually wrote this down. I said Jinder's special, like him cutting in, was more interesting to me than the match.
Than the Rowan match?
The match.
Or the Bray match?
The Rowan match.
Okay.
The Rowan
it's definitely more interesting to me than anything he had to say about Bray.
Oh yeah, but the Rowan match to me, yeah, it was good for Rowan because he got some blows in, but it was like I already knew this was coming.
Right.
This is boring to me.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. There is no draw, but then Jinder comes out and yeah, he's saying the same stuff, but at least he's saying it now.
Right.
He's actually cutting this type of promo now. He's important enough to cut this type of promo. And yeah, then all of a sudden you get him saying it in his quote-unquote native language. And then he tries to sneak a punch in on Randy, and they have a little back and forth, and Randy's trying to get him to do the whole DDT through the ropes, and you get interference from the Singh brothers.
Bollywood boys?
The Singh brothers.
The Bollywood boys.
And truthfully, they looked ridiculous. You had one of them holding/humping Randy Orton's leg, while the other one didn't know if he needed to pull Randy Orton off or just hold him around the midsection. At one point in time, I really thought they were just both holding Randy Orton in a hug position just because they were fans. They were like, oh my God, we love you. Can we just hug you?
Well, they've been in catering for the last 6 months waiting for somebody to do something with them. So, yeah, they probably are fanning out.
Probably, but yeah, so you get that going on, and then Jinder gets in, and he's starting to beat down on Randy, and he hits I don't even know what it's still called at this moment. What is he called?
I don't know. I put it as Dream Street in my
Okay. And it's an ugly Dream Street. It takes Randy a minute to realize what he needs to do.
Yeah.
His arm's all sitting there flopping, and Jinder's like, toss your arm
We
up
can
here.
complain about Randy in a lot of ways. His normal, 61%. But he can still work, and that's why he is where he is. He can still sell. So, to me, that's on Jinder. Jinder's not the most polished wrestler.
No, he's not.
But I didn't like this because, again, he didn't say anything. First off, and I think Wrestling Soup said this, I didn't know we had a problem with India. But apparently we do. But it's the same foreigner promo that we've seen from Rusev, that we saw from the Iron Sheik back in the day.
Well, it's the same type of promos that everybody cuts against John Cena.
But my point is, going back to what I said earlier, they know about 4 characters to write for.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that, okay, we're trying to push someone new here, and even, we got a bunch of people talking, whether it was positively or negatively. A bunch of people started talking about this. It's like, all right, cool. Well, this is an opportunity to do something new and fresh and not the same shit that we've seen for the last 30 years. But that's exactly what they did. So because I have brown skin, I must be a terrorist, and yeah, Americans hate me. I mean, that's basically the message here.
Hello, 911.
Right.
I'm sitting across from a terrorist doing a podcast.
I represent India, but I'm actually from Canada.
But yeah, and then after that, wasn't it the Lana promo?
Let me see what I got here. If it was, I didn't write it down.
Yeah, it was just her being a stripper. She was wearing a dress that was cut all the way up to her panty line where you could see her little snooch. Like,
oh, God.
Her little silver sparkly snooch down there. And then
so sexy.
She really is. I mean, just go ahead and take the panties off. I'm sorry. Rusev, much love, but you scored a good one. I mean,
yes, you did.
I'd love to see her. Sorry. My bad. But if you ever get leaked photos, just saying.
Dude, she's done a movie where she was nude.
She's done a nude movie?
Yeah. She some movie a few years ago where she was... Yeah, you can go look them up online.
That's crazy.
You got some homework to do tonight.
Dang, Lana.
Yeah, she's got nude photos online. You can find them. They're not hard to find.
Huh. And then I got after that, Gender left with the title.
Yeah. Hold on. What else? Did I not write any of this down? I know that happened, but... Oh, I put that Gender... his promo was awful. I said that. Hopefully that improves. I said that him and the Bollywood boys, especially with the way they were dressed, like I took them a lot more seriously with the way they were dressed.
Yes.
I said they look the part anyway of a main event stable, and I said I was willing to give this a chance. Yeah, and then I wrote that he left later after the break in a stretch limo with the WWE title.
And I still don't know what the Raha Baja is, or the Maharaja.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I don't know. I didn't bother looking up last week. I'm probably not looking it up this
I'm not
week.
going to either, but I mean...
Again, I have brown skin, so I must be the bad guy.
I mean, truthfully, if you're going to call yourself the Maharaja, or Raha Maja, or Raja Maja, or
the Raja Bell,
Where's My Maja, or anything like that, you need to describe at least somewhat what that means.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, we have no clue. You have not told us, sir. But yeah, then I got a Breezango versus Ascension.
Yeah.
In a Beat the Clock challenge.
Right. I put...
Where Breezango got an entrance. They weren't
and
just
the Ascension
in the
didn't.
ring. Exactly.
That should have told me something right there that the Ascension didn't get a... well, here's what I put. I can't decide which one of these teams looks more ridiculous on the way to the ring, with the Ascension with their goofy face paint, or Tyler Breeze looking like a fucking...
He had Po.
Yes.
On one Po on each ass cheek.
Fashion Popo. That's what he has. Fashion on his ass and Popo on each leg.
They're on the cheeks, bro. Like poo-poo. Like that's where the poop shoot is. He's letting everybody know this is where I take a crap. That's what I see whenever I see that. I'm like, bro, I know you take a shit back there. I don't need you to advertise it. Unless you need to show Fandango which way he needs to go.
Right. I put this is a battle of to see who is actually the worst team in the WWE.
Like I thought the same. And the surprise ending.
That I marked out for this. They actually called his kick that he hit the supermodel kick.
Yes.
Which I haven't actually heard that since NXT. He hits a supermodel kick and then from Breeze into a Falcon Arrow from Fandango. And it's a Falcon Arrow, Michael Cole, not the Falcon's Arrow.
Yeah.
I hate when he fucking says that. But anyway. Yeah, into a Falcon Arrow. And Breezango not only wins, but they beat the clock with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left, meaning that they are now the number one contenders for the tag team title.
And they have a big pop.
Yeah.
They had a huge pop. Bigger than what I thought they would have. And I was happy about it.
It's probably a shock pop, though. Well, I can't even say... Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, is it a shock pop whenever the match going in, you're like... I don't know if either one of these teams is going to win, whatever.
I think it's more of a shock pop that they actually beat the clock.
But then all of a sudden it was like every time they were sitting there looking at each other like, oh shit, we're first contenders.
Right, they were stunned.
And then they looked over at the other people like in the audience and they were like, we're number one contenders. And everybody was like, yeah! And I was kind of right there with the fans. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for Tyler Breeze, and he deserves better.
Exactly.
So, I think there's a 0% chance they'll win the titles, but it'll be nice to see him in the match and get a shot instead of being in catering.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got a House of Horrors match promo cut by Bray, which I really didn't write any other notes down.
I didn't either. I'm so bored of those. I didn't even write anything.
I did.
I think I walked out of the room.
Yeah.
And then we got in the main event we have Charlotte versus Naomi. The girls getting the main event. I actually dug it, and again, it's not on any feminist type stuff. I just liked it. I think I said Charlotte's a main event worthy talent,
and
so
also
she deserves to be in the main
other
event.
matches that they had weren't big matches. It wasn't like they had a United States Championship match or something beforehand.
You know what I liked even more than that, though? I like that they just did it.
Yeah.
They just did it, and they didn't suck their own dick about it. They just, this is the main event.
Yeah.
Not, this was groundbreaking. It's never happened, and we are, we're breaking new ground.
First time ever on Smackdown Live.
We're breaking new ground, and women can do as much. Nope, this is our main event.
Yeah, because, you already know. Women can do quite a bit more than what they've been regulated to in the past.
I don't need to be slammed over the fucking head with it, though.
No.
Like, if you're going to be in the main event, then give me a good main event match. But I don't need to be slammed over the head with, this is the first time ever, and we're so groundbreaking, and oh my god, can you just cheer for us because we're ladies and we're trying to...
Yeah.
No, just fucking, if you want to be in a main event,
put on a main event match.
Book them in the main event and go put on a match, and I will accept or not accept you as a main event
exactly.
talent.
There's been plenty of men's main event matches that I have never accepted. That I was like, this is bullshit. Right. Why the fuck was this the main event?
And it wasn't because they were men, it was because they sucked.
Exactly. It was because they did a bad job.
The Great Khali is world champion is a great example of that.
Exactly. So, it's never been a thing of men and women. It's been a thing of what can you do, what are you willing to do, and what are you willing to show us that you can do.
And can you handle that spot or not? And
exactly.
Some people can't.
But yeah, I said it was good back and forth. At first, truthfully, in the beginning, they were fast, they were strong, they were coming out good, but then it kind of looked like they were a little bit lazy towards the end with their moves.
The spots in the match that I saw that I didn't like weren't Charlotte's fault. They were Naomi's fault. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I put down, you got the pull down double feet into the face to Charlotte, which bounced her off the rope into a rear view, which Charlotte then kicked out of. And then you get, what's that say?
Charlotte tried for a moonsault.
Oh, yeah, she tried for that moonsault and got the double knees, but I think that's where she got the double feet into the rear view, because then she hit that power bomb on Naomi.
Let me see if I got that written anywhere.
And it was a massive power bomb. Like, Naomi went for a hurricanrana, Charlotte caught her, and just popped her up, and she got like almost last ride air into a Batista bomb.
I remember what the movie was talking about, but I didn't actually write it down, so I don't know when it came during the match.
Yeah, but it was right there. Charlotte hit it, went for the pin, no pin, and then Naomi gets up, and as she's like up towards the ropes and Charlotte's trying to get on the other side, that's whenever it's double disqualification because the Carmella,
Tamina and Natty were out. And Naomi tries to fight back also, and she gets laid out as well.
Yep.
I hated this. I hated this ending.
Yeah.
This is the thing. SmackDown doesn't usually do this. I hate that SmackDown ended in a fuck finish. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And to me, I was actually like last week when I told you, I was actually looking forward to the women's match. I was looking forward to it again this week. And to me, that turned this show into a so-so show, into a thumbs down show to me.
Yeah.
Like I did not like how that ended. So yeah, I gave it a thumbs down for this week. I think Raw and SmackDown at best get 5s for me, maybe lower.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of either show really this week.
No, definitely not one of the best weeks to watch. You had a few interesting things happen, but nothing really too catching, too grasping on my attention.
Right.
At times, my Facebook became more important to where I could just check random updates and be happier than actually watching SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah, and it's usually not the case with SmackDown, but Raw, I've just accepted that that's the case. With
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's partially due to the fact that y'all have too long of a fucking TV show.
Yeah. 3 hours is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's going to be it for this Raw SmackDown reviews and the predictions. We're going to do a Payback after show. Right?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do it as soon as Payback's over, we can just, since it would be fresh on our mind and everything, just go at it right then and there, or maybe the day after. I'm still off work either way.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But
we'll definitely have a post-Payback show that's all of its own. We'll probably get into a little bit more detail about the matches and what we thought and felt about each one of them and what we think that might be going for in the future. But definitely something we're going to do, and then we'll, of course, have the same Raw and SmackDown catch-up. But, yeah, anything else you want to go on about tonight?
No. You can tell them about your YouTube page and see if we can get any subscribers.
Oh, yeah. YouTube page. You can come there, subscribe, and listen anytime you want. Got it up. Name of our show is Outside the Ring. It's John Callahan and the Frank Wrestling Show. We just like to outside the ring because, of course, we're not really in it. But we do have what we think about it, and we're going to let you know. And as long as you like to listen to us, we'll be here.
Links will be in the description of the video for our Facebook page, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I've been meaning to do that, but...
Yeah, it's taking us a little bit of time. We're trying to get used to this, but hey, everybody has to at least start somewhere, so this is where we are.
You want to throw your Twitter in there too?
Yeah, my Twitter is, let me get there real quick because I don't have this stuff memorized yet, seeing as how I've made it here not that long ago. Let's see. My Twitter is at JPCallahan051. You can follow me there, and every time I post a video, it does get shared to my Twitter account, so you'll be able to follow us there. On Facebook, we are the Frank Wrestling and John Callahan Show, or podcast.
No, I think I changed it to Outside the Ring.
Oh, you changed it Outside the Ring?
Yeah, it should be Outside the Ring.
Good job. Way to go. I'm happy we did that. But yeah, and then, damn, I got out of the YouTube thing, because I was looking at my Twitter now. But it looks like my account on YouTube is just jpcallahan.jc@gmail.com, or just John Callahan, really. I didn't really put anything too popular or anything on it. Just kind of named it after myself. Maybe edited here shortly in the future just so we can get something actually concrete down. But yeah, we would love for you to come by. Go ahead, subscribe. We'll be submitting these episodes and everything weekly. Stuff comes up, so it might come out a couple days after every now and then. But yeah, we'll definitely be here to give y'all our thoughts and concerns sometimes about the TV show and what it could do to make itself better.
I will create a Twitter sooner or later for the show. I have a personal Twitter, but I'm going to create one specifically for the show eventually. Yeah, like my co-host said, you can subscribe on the YouTube channel. You could check out the Facebook page. We just got it up. We'll be getting more. I don't even think we have any photos or any cover art on there yet.
No, not at the moment.
We'll be getting those things up there. Or if any of you guys watching this wanted to help us out with any designs for cover art or anything like that, it'd be much appreciated.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, other than that, we'll be back with the review for Payback, and we'll be back with another episode of Outside the Ring next week.
All right, y'all have a great night, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.